Welcome back, everyone, to another session of Crituitous RP. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Before we get into the grand adventure, as we're getting closer and closer to that final moment, final layer of the Tomb of the Nine Gods, I'd like to thank our newest followers for joining our little family. So welcome to Darth Vader Duck, Restart 622, The Space Kitty, Daddy Warbucks, and Erishal. Thank you very much to each of you and everyone else, every one of our 361 to this point followers. Thank you so much. We appreciate every single one of you. If you, as always, if you like what we do, if you like our games, you can follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. You can follow our Tumblr, that is crituitousrp.tumblr.com. We play our game on a Saturday evening and another session, the Half-Rate Heroes, on a Sunday evening, and then rebroadcast those on Mondays and Tuesdays. All right, so previously on Crituitous RP, our heroes, deep within the bowels of the Tomb of the Nine Gods, inhabited each of them by a different spirit of the nine trickster gods, plus others. They find themselves in a layer of the pit that seems somewhat different from the rest. Rather than being rooms around a central spiral staircase, this one is actually a huge mechanical gear system. Now, last week our heroes found the controls and came to an understanding of how the controls work. Just simply, you turn the blue dial left and right, and it moves the light along a wall, indicating different patterns of arrangement for the gears in the central chamber. And then hit the blue button. It shifts everything and turns it to that arrangement. Turning the red dial, however, had an alternative effect and created a two-way telepathic communication between everyone in the room and the Aboleth that's in the water. So that was fun. That went well. So now we rejoin our heroes, still sat inside the control room. They just met the Aboleth, who mostly just wanted to get to know the party a little bit, learned everyone's deepest, darkest desires, and tried to make a deal that he would give you more information about the creature that is down within the dungeon, in return for a promise of someone being a vessel for him to leave the dungeon. So, what would you guys like to do?
Can you bring up the picture of the control panel again?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can do that.
Adrian, did the caretaker and his notes not explain this machine and contraption?
Well, it's really quite simple. You just got to turn this doohickey here and press that doohickey there, and there you go. Your gears will spin and line up in the desired orientation. Piece of cake.
Currently, our gears are oriented in the fourth from the left position. So if you were to turn it you could turn it once more to the right position, but then you'd have to go back through the others. What would you like to do?
Did we rest up? I can't recall. Take a long rest, and then
we took a short rest.
There was some conversation about doing something with the dandy. I do not quite know what this means. We had said something about dandy, diddy, something.
The discussion previously about dandy was that preferably Dandy would end up becoming a vessel for one of the trickster gods, so that the trickster gods can leave freely as part of Dandy. However, it was proposed that perhaps the Aboleth inhabits Dandy.
Yes.
I'm
Well,
looking.
We could try to walk through this, or we could take some respite because we all seem very spent at this point.
I thought we had a short rest, and I did a Song of Rest last time we played. So if anybody wants to take the benefit of a short rest with the Song of Rest on it, then which I definitely need to.
Mm-hmm.
I only say this because I am personally out of spells, and I do not know about the rest. I do not feel like I would be very effective without rest, but we can proceed if you wish.
I'm looking at the orientation of these rooms on the wall over here, and it looks like orientations 1 and 3 leave the farthest room in the upward position, the farthest room with an exit aligned with the pathway, and orientations 3, just orientation 3 leaves that room in the orientation to point to the other hallway. So I think we need to get the rooms in either 1 or 3, but in both orientations, the control room is separated from that first room. I could have my unseen servant here manning the controls if we agree which controls would be preferable, or which orientation would be preferable.
I would point out just to not only pay attention to the open doorways, but also the gaps created when a gear shifts. For example, right now, with the current orientation, there is more than enough space for you guys to leave the control room and actually climb onto the gear on the outside of that first chamber. Shifting around the outside of the gear is possible. However, in this orientation, the points are positioned to block off the rooms to the far east. So don't just pay attention to how the doorways coincide, but also how open gaps coincide.
Do we have any opinions on preferable orientations other than the ones that I have just discussed? Because we still have to find a key on this floor, but that's it, right? As soon as we find the key, then what we're looking for is the next way down.
Mm-hmm.
When I was looking around between the first and second gear, I noticed that there was a small room attached to the middle gear. I couldn't see through the walls, obviously, but there is something up there to be mindful of.
All right. So it sounds like we have at least one thing potentially to explore. Are there any other opinions that anyone would like to share or consider?
Yep.
Nope. So, Averine, 1 or 3? You can turn the dial all the way to either one and then just press it and it'll just cycle through until it ends at that point.
So, sorry, did we have a short rest, or we had?
Yes,
No, we
you've had a short rest.
So you want to roll some hit dice?
Please.
Of course.
How would you want to roll? And you've done that with some of rest.
I do fall because I'm knackered.
So orientation number 1 appears to give both access to that room north in the second gear and give access to the hallway north of the third gear. However, none of us can be in here or in the first gear while that happens because the hallway will be cut off. So we would all have to be in the second gear as I instruct my unseen servant to do exactly what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So has everyone agreed that we should all stand on the second gear while I leave my unseen servant here to push the button?
That's
There's
fine.
a saying not to put all the eggs in one basket. So
Yeah, true.
perhaps, well, if Pijao can fly, then perhaps that is sufficient. We just want to make sure that if we are all on the outside and something unexpected happens, that we do not all die.
Well, I'm recommending that we all stay on the inside.
Oh, well, that makes much more sense. Still, it might
That's
be
putting
good to have
everyone
Pijao
inside
on
the
the
baskets.
outside, so that yes, one. You understand what I am getting at with the words, the idea, no?
Sure. Aye. Yes. Well, all right. Before we can move everything over to there, we still have to put everything back the way it was. So let's move everything back to, I guess 3. 3 is how it was.
3 is how it was. So you turn the dial, hit the button, you hear that loud grinding, and then it stops in the position, back opening up the space to the mold-filled room from before. The friendly mold, the mold that you spoke to.
Can I just do a check on this wall?
Which wall?
This one. It seems to be like a little bit of there's a mark on it.
Let me... Yes. You can ignore that as it cannot be seen from this side.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
That was a slight reveal on the map on my part.
Okay, so then this is just a nice little wall I'm leaning against. Ignore me.
Yep.
Okay, fine.
There you go.
So
There
I'm
we
going
go.
to take 10 minutes to ritually cast the unseen servant. I'll
Okay.
move the light to the desired first position, and then I'll walk myself over to the second room.
What?
Oops.
What?
That was an accident. Ignore that.
We didn't see anything.
Ignore that.
Ignore
There you
the
go.
man behind the curtain. Nothing to see here.
Yep. Okay, so you've twisted it to the first position, but you haven't hit the button yet.
Right, my unseen servant has to stay a certain range from me, so I'm measuring to see how far, if the unseen servant plan will work.
Could Aluando just do it? Or his-
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, my unseen servant only works to a distance of 60 feet. If I move away more than 60 feet, it disappears. So, I leave Aluando, and I say, hey, Aluando. I pet Aluando. All right, buddy. We're going to walk over there. When I give you the signal, go ahead and push this blue button, so long as you're not colorblind. If you are colorblind, it's this button right here.
Okay. Aluando is fixed on the button on the left or the right. Not sure. The blue one.
Aye. All right. So then I'll run over to the second gear room. I said, all right, everyone get in here.
So you shift over once, and then as you shift, it goes through the motion of shifting. It stops in place to open the gap to the first one. As that room is revealed, a whole horde of gas comes from that space, fills into here, mixes with all of the mold, and the mold begins to grow.
Oh.
The
Nice big
gears
breath and then
continue
holding
to
it.
move.
Yeah.
Yep. The gears continue to move and finish their orientation out into the first position. As you notice the gears moving, the gas coming in, the mold beginning to grow, you notice a familiar-looking skeleton inside that little room.
Not Yaka.
Unfortunately, the mold begins to grow into the form of some shambling mounds. So, I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Finally. It's been like 3 months and I finally got above an 8.
Do you know what? If I had a long rest, I'd have had blight. That's the first time I'd have been able to use it in this entire dungeon.
Yeah, well, you don't. You don't. It's all right. Deal with it. It's a good initiative. What are you waiting at?
Everyone's doing pretty good. Do I have any initiative missing? I've got Captain, Zola, Pijo, Averine, Carmen, and Tower. Looks like I've got everyone. So, top of the round. Tower. What do you do?
Okay, bear, attack this shambling hound next to me. Before I turn out, you said you would not attack us. And then, but I keep a sheet. Is he kind of flanked at this moment?
I would say so, yes. So you have the 23, and that does hit. Go ahead and roll the damage for that.
That doesn't hit.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately. Okay. Anything else from Tower Bear? No. Carmen and Captain, as you both have the same initiative, you both get to choose who goes first out of the two of you.
Oh, ladies first. Ladies first.
Carmen.
Thank you. And then she'll just pick up a staff of striking and just smack down.
Okay.
On smack down onto the one in front of her. Schmack.
27, that will strike. 15 points of force damage.
No, not yet. I won't. And then I'll take my second go and do the same again.
32. Solid whack. 12 points of force damage.
Cool. And then she's going to just do a little bit of movement just to get out of the way. Would it take an opportunity attack? Would it?
If you move out of its melee range. You don't know exactly how big its melee range is.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't be sure if moving just 5 foot or 10 foot would work. You don't know.
Okay, in that case, I'll just stay where I am. I'll just park.
Okay. Captain.
The captain, seeing that there is the spellcasters are somewhat endangered, will use his bonus action to cast Compelled Duel, which I accidentally hit earlier as I was trying to read what it does. As a bonus action, you attempt to compel a creature into a duel, etc. Has to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Which one?
The one that I am currently closest to.
Okay.
It is a DC of 14, not particularly high.
But it fails. It seems to be completely enraptured to you. This large plant-like creature just turns and begins to slither towards you.
Very good. So it has disadvantage attacking anyone but me. Yep. And then with the flaming sword that is on fire, I will hit it repeatedly in the head.
Okay. All right. So striking out the 2d6 is the fire damage, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It is
As
8
you
damage.
hit this creature, it takes the 8 points of slashing damage from the longsword, and you notice that it seems to be so moist and damp that it's resistant to fire damage.
I hate you. I hate you with a passion. But I will hit him again because it is what I have.
Okay.
And
yeah.
No, that is all. I was trying to decide whether to smite it with righteous fury, and I decided no.
Okay. The blade slowly cuts through this form for total. So the fire damage of 12 cuts down to 6, so you got 13 points of damage. That is now a wounded shambling mound. Anything else from you, Captain?
I will now move over here, closest to him, and as I move, I will use my combat maneuver to increase my the AC on my armor. It is 1d8. Okay, so it is 23. If he chooses to take an opportunity attack against me.
He chooses, and as he throws out his vines to try and slam into you, it just misses.
Very good. I am now hopefully engaged with the other one as well.
Yes, indeed.
That
Okay,
is my
Pijal.
All right. I'm going to get up as high as I can, and I'm going to mark the one that Captain's fighting with my hunter's mark.
Were you within its reach before you flew up?
Well, my what is its reach first, I guess? It's 5 feet. Because my presumption
5 feet.
is that, my thought, but I didn't say it, but was that Peugeot would have been, like, flying in the air to not be in all the goopy mold when he came in. But it's your call if you think he would be within reach or not.
It's fine. Just would you have been within 15 feet from the floor is the question, because it's a 10-foot tall creature and it's got a reach of 5 foot. So if you were floating anywhere 15 foot or below,
How tall is the build? I don't think he would have been that high up. No,
15
I don't think he
foot,
would have been 15 feet off the green. That's higher than he would just for regular travel. So.
Okay. All right. Then in which case, as you fly up, it's going to try and reach out and slap you.
All right. Try and fail.
With a 10. Wow, I can't roll today. All right.
That's fine
That's a
for
miss.
me.
What are you going to
so
do, Pijo?
Now I will cast the hunter's mark on.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to try first with the poison arrow. See how it goes.
$25 does hit. It takes the piercing.
Should I roll the poison?
You should, as it doesn't seem to be immune to poison.
And then here's the hunter's mark as well. And did it get hit by Captain before?
Nope, this is the first strike it's taken.
I'm doing one more with the poison arrow.
Another solid attack from the arrow.
And that gets hunter's mark and Colossus Slayer. Ugh, 1 and 2.
Okay.
Cool. And now I stay up there and say, "Ha! You can't get me." Stupid plan.
Zola.
Can I perceive that Laszlo has somehow retained the attention of this guy on the left?
Yes.
All right.
It seems to have followed him, and if it has eyes, they seem to be fixed on Laszlo's position.
Okay. I'm going to hope that's enough of a distraction to get away.
Okay. Seems to be fine.
Okay.
Are you still invisible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I
nothing
think Alpha
strikes at you
extended
as you
its
leave.
opportunity attack when I ran by it. Or his reaction, rather.
All right, so I'll get there, and then I will trim some hedge.
Nice way to put it.
Sinking that blade deep through the bush. That's 30 points of damage.
Awesome. And then I'll do my offhand as well. There you go.
Okay.
Then I will spend the rest of my movement backing up to here.
All right. It is the Shambling Mound's turns. First one that's already up against Laszlo is... It's been hit by Pijo and Zola. Pijo, are you still within its reach? You're not, are you?
I went up to the. Well, I don't know how high up it is, so it might be. He can jump.
15 foot is its reach.
If he wants to hurt me, Pijo wouldn't mind it so much.
Could jump 5 foot, but it's not going to. It's going to focus on Laszlo, who is right there. So it's going to slam Laszlo twice. First is an 11.
Off the shield. Tink.
And a 13.
You're
All
having
right.
an us day today.
Yeah.
This is a terrible day. All right. The other one is going to ignore Averine and Carmen and Tower, thus provoking attacks of opportunity from all three should they desire to do so, and move towards
Yes.
Laszlo. So go ahead, Carmen. Go ahead and smack it.
Smack, 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 smack. Do I just use my normal style for striking?
Yes.
I smack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, natural one.
That was a natural one.
Natural
Instead of
one, that
14.
is going to miss.
Oh.
Tower, would you use your reaction to make an attack?
Isn't it a flank because he was between Tower
True.
and Carmen as he left?
Technically, it would be
At
the point she left the zone.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Nearly.
Mm.
So, Tower, would you also like to make an attack?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That was the bear.
Solid strike. You cleave through its flesh. Averine?
Nice.
Nice.
Nope. Okay. Then as it reaches this position, it's going to attack Captain, but it's going to slither down and get that advantage. And that's a 24.
Oh, that hit me on the advantage.
Okay. You'll take 13 points of bludgeoning damage. Second strike is only a 14, so I'm assuming that's going to miss.
He misses the second time. The rascally fellow.
All right. Averine.
I will see that Laszlo's fire sword is having diminished efficacy against these foes, and then look at my wand and not much else I prepared for today. So I will shoot a firebolt at the one who is Hunter's marked.
Okay.
26 for 10 damage.
The flame arcs through, 5 points of fire damage. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. We are just before the top of the round, actually, just before Tower gets to act. Skull rushes straight forward, as it's not just the skull, it's the full skeleton as usual, and it rushes forward, pulls its forearm bones out, and just starts rushing Tower to try and stab him.
Oh dear.
Does a 4 hit Tower?
No.
No. So it's just running up and just trying to hack away, but it can't cut through that thick hide. Tower, what would you like to do?
I got this skeleton on my butt, and I'm amazed. I'm actually, for my attack, I'm just going to push off with my front legs and slam my rear into the wall for a bludgeoning attack.
You're going to like arse slap him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough. Roll the claw attack and it'll work the same way. Or the bite, it doesn't matter. 19 definitely crushes the thing between you and the wall. As the bear behind crushes the skeleton up against the wall, all of the other bones seem to just crush. Their skull pops off and then hits the ground next to everyone.
Nice.
It's my hind attack.
Hey!
I will then charge forward and to there, and then I'll make my second attack.
Okay. You have advantage on the strike. 24 hits.
There you go.
Anything else, Tower?
That's it.
Carmen.
Yo, Carmen is going to run up to this one here and have an attack on that one.
That's a hit.
Cool. How's it looking?
Pretty bad, actually.
Okay. Then I'll take another regardless one then, just to try and put it down. Put it down.
Not quite enough to actually level it, but it is heavily weakened.
Okay.
Anything else, Carmen?
No, that'll be it.
Give it to Laszlo.
Laszlo, you do it. You got it.
Classic coming in the end to steal the kill.
Do it. Do it.
Wah, wah. Yes, so I will attack the guy that I'm in a compelled duel with.
Okay. With a 21, that will hit. You'll just kind of graze its flesh a little bit with a 6 points of damage there.
I assume that doesn't kill it.
I can't tell you that until you decide if you're going to apply anything else to it.
Oh, no. I'm not going to apply anything else. I've
Okay.
attacked it. I'm just trying to say I've had a second attack it or a different one.
So it's still alive after that strike.
Attack it again.
For 12.
Yes, and I won't apply anything else.
That is a dead shambling mound. Falls to the floor, just pieces just begin to just fall into mush. The ground all around you now becomes difficult terrain as it's just mucky and your feet are getting stuck to the wet vines.
I love it. And I turn on the other shambling mound and I just laugh at it maniacally and get ready for battle, and that is all.
Pijo.
All right. Well, I'm going to continue the onslaught. I'm going to do a little aerial flip thing and aim and let loose a poison arrow.
Misses.
I was about to say, was that the sound of a hit or a miss? Okay.
No, it's a miss.
Cursing under my breath, I'm doing one more.
That'll hit.
Good. And poison, Hunter's Mark, Colossus Slayer.
Heavily wounded, still conscious.
Ugh. Jerk.
Anything else from you, Pijo?
Picking up the skull would be... No, I can't. I need both my hands for my bow and arrow. Yeah, I'm just going to stay where I am. Just kind of circle.
Zola.
I am going to slip right under where PG's doing his aerial acrobatics. And a 1.
Stab.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll hit. With the sneak attack added on top of that, how do you want to kill this thing?
Ooh. I will very just deftly. It looks like I'm cutting through butter. It looks like I'm cutting through nothing at all. I just effortlessly slide the cutlass into the center of the mound where a brain might be if it had a brain, and then I'll just pull it out and wipe it on my arm.
There's a moment after the blade comes out, just before the whole thing just crumbles to dust and vines, just as a mess. All right. Shambling mounds destroyed. And you have the skull. So that's good news. Right?
Yay! Well done, Zola. Yes.
You guys too.
It's good.
That was a good group effort. Clean the sword.
So do we have all the keys now?
The last key is now in your possession.
Ooh.
Guys, let's go save the world.
Yeah.
I am much more interested in killing the Atropal and the Serarak, but to each their own, I suppose.
It's the same thing, though. That's why it's great. All of our interests are in the same place.
I guess that Aboleth is not going to get back to us about weaknesses of our enemies or anything, huh?
Did you promise it a vessel? I think you.
I think we did at the end of the last session.
Did
This
you
was
say that?
this was the question I had at the beginning. This conversation we were having.
You did.
Did
Dandy.
we
Right.
promised it? We made a promise for Dandy, I believe.
You made a promise for Dandy. Okay. Then the information it will give you is the Atropal is such an abomination to nature that those within a close vicinity to it do not gain the benefits of any healing magic.
Oh. How close?
Close.
Okay.
It is
If the-
also watched over by the Soon sisters. Be careful of the Soon sisters.
Sounds like
And that's all the information he is going to give you.
The Soon sisters,
Yeah.
like soon in the near future, or soon like needle and thread.
Like soon to be dead.
Like soon. Oh,
No, soon will be dead.
I guess you could say it's Sown sisters.
So, with needle and thread.
Yeah. It is
So,
spelled
a
like
needle
the needle
pulling thread.
la.
I'm curious to know if that's intentional. How they sewn together. They stitch,
Oh. Okay. Sister.
I just picture from Hercules the
How to tell.
So, looking at this little skeleton key that you have, it on the back of it has the octagon. So you now have the triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon, and octagon. All the keys you need for the door, apparently. Now, as you guys are done with this, the mess that you inadvertently caused by opening up the gate, you have in front of you the last pentagonal room that you haven't been able to see inside of before. In this one, you can see that 5 wooden wardrobes stand all against the walls. Each bears an image of a different scene. Puddles of grey slime fit around the room, and the room can see up to the north where there is a portcullis, currently closed. Set into the metal plate above the portcullis is a row of 5 red crystals shaped like drops of blood. So, portcullis blocks the way, 5 red crystals shaped of blood, 5 wardrobes in the room.
I'm gonna do my scouting thing.
Okay.
So they're
Roll a
cool.
perception check.
I'll pick up that key.
Sorry, I just want to make sure we have a triangle, a square, a pentagon, a hexagon, and an octagon. There's no
Yes.
heptagon. It goes from 6 sides to 8 sides.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Although props for knowing that a 7-sided object would be a heptagon. That was my knowledge for the day.
Wikipedia taught me. I was going to call it a septagon, and then it said that I was
Really
wrong.
bad, it's fine.
So, with your perception check, these the room that you're in right now has a lot of grime to it. The walls are made of metal, but they look a little rusted. The whole place just gives off this sense of dirt and disgust. However, these wooden wardrobes are all pristine and clean, as if they were just created today, as they were just formed today. Each of them seems to give off a slight hum of arcane energy, even when you are stood far away from them. And as I said, each of them has a picture on them. So you can see one that has an army of orcs clashing with an army of hobgoblins. There's one that shows a grinning night hag with a swaddled human infant in her arms. You have a face of an ornate clock, a twisted, screaming humanoid face wrapped in chains, and ghouls gnawing on bones.
I will
What would you like to do?
call back behind my shoulder and relay everything that I see and ask if, does anything look like it would be dangerous if I stepped in the middle of the room there?
Nothing looks dangerous. There's no unintentional traps here, I should
Got it.
say. There's no pit traps. There's no pressure plates or anything that you might trip upon.
Clear.
Okay.
I guess I'll take a closer look at one of these wooden boxes.
Just do not take an hour like last time. When you said, "Oh, I will know how this works in an hour," and then afterwards you said, "Oopsie, I lied."
I'll try to not. I'll try to speed it up if I can.
Okay. So in what way are you going to be investigating these wardrobes?
I'm looking. Just anything interesting, other than the carvings that have been already been described.
Nothing visible on the outside. You can sense that they are arcane in nature, but the nature of that arcane power is not described physically.
Tao's going to give it a sniff. Can you smell anything coming from this? Well, the one next to Waverine, for instance. Can you smell anything particularly?
And which one has the ghouls on it?
The one with the ghouls would be... let me double... Sorry, one.
Are ghouls undead?
Ghouls are considered undead, yes.
Okay.
That is the one on the left. The one right next to Tower. Now, Tower, you sniff it. Roll a perception check.
The one that Tower and Everine are hanging out in front of?
No, the one to his left.
Gotcha. All right, I'll just stand in front of that one.
I get advantage as a bear.
Yep. It smells empty, clean. It actually smells of nothing. Okay. So you've got a wooden wardrobe here. You don't smell the wood. You don't smell anything inside. In fact, there's no scent inside there.
Ah.
He's just going to start smelling too, just because he sees the Tower's doing it. Not
Can-
to decide anything.
Can I
Just
smell the one next to that? The other one? Do they all smell the same?
Same thing.
Smell-
All of
don't
these
smell
things,
anything.
yeah, don't smell of anything. They notably smell empty.
Has anybody tried touching any of these yet?
I'm worried it might be a mimic.
I have not. I wanted to take another look at those crystals above the door, perhaps, to see if those have any extra clues.
Roll an investigation check.
$24.
Okay. As you look at these red crystals, you notice that they appear to be hollow to some degree. And as you look at the shape and how they are positioned, they have a slight valve just above them that seems to feed into these hollow red crystals. Like these red crystals are intended to fill with something.
Oh.
The tube
But
that would be filling them.
Yeah.
Can I trace it
It's-
back?
No, it's in the actual stonework, and you can't see where it would be coming from or where it would go. You even, because of the position of it and the way the crystal is embedded into the stonework, you can't access the tube in any way.
Okay.
I
Can't
guess we have
stop.
to. Oh, go ahead.
No, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I guess we have to open one of these.
Why? Why?
Well,
Do we need to?
the things that we have that we can see don't give us any further clues on what we have to do. And these wardrobes are typically designed to hold something, so perhaps there's something in one of these wardrobes that will help us. But it looks like these crystals have to be filled with something, and whatever it does that does the filling is tied to the room.
Okay. So
All
there's,
right, then
there's 5 crystals and 5 wardrobes.
Aye.
So
it seems pretty straightforward.
providing the wardrobes or the cupboards or whatever, they don't just suck the person in and they get trapped in. You just have that feeling like you're just gonna get sucked in somewhere and like you're gonna be stuck in a light bulb on the ceiling. As much as I like being a light bulb.
Then why don't
Sounds like a light bulb.
you all stand back and I will open this one.
Tao's already cleared open the door.
Is it the one
All
I'm
right.
in front of?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You two could fight it out. Who would win?
I'm imagining a video of like a grizzly bear like poking at something and just backing away.
As you open the door upon which there is a image of ghouls gnawing on bones, it's strange. The door opens and you don't see the inside of a wardrobe. In fact, you gaze out across an ancient-looking cemetery. Its canted tombstones are shrouded in a thick fog. Strange, hungry shapes seem to be moving amongst the graves in the distance, but suddenly, bright, glowing balls of light appear in the room behind you. We're going to roll for initiative.
I can't just go through.
As I see the scene, and whether it's before or after initiative, your call, I was going to use divine sense just to see if I feel something past that wardrobe or not. But whether I get that oftentimes, it's you.
You wouldn't sense anything through there, unfortunately.
That's fine.
I didn't do it.
I get it.
I didn't do it. Okay.
Tao's
I've clicked you. No, I haven't clicked you. You're calm still. Oh no.
Oh,
Okay, so Carmen's roll was a 20, but
yeah, I didn't think
Ty broke it.
I broke it.
You can edit your own turn order
Oh, yeah,
scores.
cool. Okay. Thank you.
Yep, you
No
can.
problem. Will-o'-wisps. Hey, you got an 18.
Oh, not what I'm
Oh no, they're right in front of you.
right in front of me. That's probably a good thing.
Okay. So, am I missing anyone from the turn order? I have Pijo, Carmen, Zola, Captain, Tower. I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, no, we do have everyone. All right. Yes, it's still within the hour for Hunter's Mark. So, Zola, top of the round, when these will-o'-wisps suddenly appear on the inside of the room behind Captain and Tower, what are you going to do?
Well, I feel like it's a pretty good probability that these things do not mean to help us. So I will close in, get there, and I'm going to try to whack it.
Okay.
Getting wacky, man.
Whack, whack, whack.
Solid strike. 8 points. Well, with the sneak attack on top of that, that will-o'-wisp just seems to flitter and disappear from view.
Awesome.
And you'll notice one of the red crystals fills up by a quarter.
Oh.
Anything else from you, Zola?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I'm going to wait for somebody else to get in here. Just move back.
Okay. Carmen?
Carmen is going to pop down to here, and following Zola's example, she's also going to have a whack and hit them.
Which ones?
There we go. I'm going for the one right in front of me at the moment,
Okay.
which is definitely going to hit.
Solid 32 to hit. That does hit for 11 points of force damage. It's still flickering and still floating.
Okay. There's a +5 on there. Why have I got?
Because if you had had advantage, you'd be critting.
Yeah.
I got ya. Okay, fine. So then I'll just have another go, have another hit. Then in that case, 21.
That is another will-o-wisp gun, and now that crystal half full.
Cool. So I'm just gonna pop back next to Zola, give her a gentle shoulder nudge, and be like, "All right."
Okay. You will take a 9 to hit on a shock. I don't think that'll hit.
Nope.
Nope.
I
Okay.
will attack it.
You're
Nice
using your
sentinel.
reaction to sentinel attack. Yep. Go ahead.
Yes.
19 hits as you strike it. It seems to be resistant to your fire damage again.
Everything is.
So it totals out to only 13 points of damage there. Right. But this creature has its turn. It is going to try to shock Captain. That's what you get. But you don't, because that's an 8.
I have rubber in my joints. It is less conductive.
Next one attempts to shock Tower with a 20 to hit Tower. With a little zzzt. You take 2 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
Captain.
I will attack the one that I have already hit once.
Okay.
Bloop.
Wow. You gonna do anything to that?
Nope.
Nope. Then it's still alive as it takes
All right.
8 points of damage.
Attack it again.
Okay. That will finish it off. Out of curiosity, is your longsword non-magical?
It's a flaming. It's got to be magical.
It's a flame tongue
fire.
sword. Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay, cool. All right. Anything else from you, Captain?
I'll move over there.
All right.
And then-
Pijo, there is one will-o-wisp left.
All right. Well, even before your last question to Laszlo, I was planning to actually engage it with my dagger instead of with my arrow. So I am going to, item interaction, take out my dagger and stab it.
Go ahead and stab. With the Lich Dagger with a 26, that will hit for 9 points of
Great.
piercing damage.
And I actually forgot to pass my mark to it, so I'm going to pass my Hunter's Mark to it for my next attack.
Okay.
That hits
That-
19?
Will hit with a 19 for another 8 and 4. Yep, that is a dead will-o'-the-wisp.
As it disappears, I'm going to
Go.
keep like slashing at the air because it's probably tiny and wispy anyway. So I'm like, is it gone? Is it gone? Where'd it go? With the one. So that's
With the last of the will-o'-wisps destroyed, the gate that seems to peer out to the graveyard closes. You now have just an empty wardrobe. And one of the 5 crystals now glowing bright red.
Can I look at this portcullis just a little, real quick?
Yeah.
Is it a hinge that opens this way, or is it something that I would imagine opens that way?
Up and down. Some direction up and down.
And there's no like keyhole or anything like that. All right. And is this area right there? Would that be big enough for Alawando to fit through?
Yes, I would say so, yes.
Well, then I will call to Alawando telepathically to tell him to come meet me over by the portcullis.
Okay.
All right. It looks like we have to defeat the enemies in each of these wardrobes. Although that was a little bit of false advertising. The ghouls are not will-o'-wisps. So who knows what we're going to get when we open these things up.
But I thought finally we had a certain understanding of battlefield tactics with the bear and me in the front and everyone else in the back. We should make short work of these difficulties, no?
Fingers crossed.
And I will.
Up front.
Tower
I,
says,
yep.
Peter's going to actually don his shield just so he doesn't have to use take an action doing that.
Let us all assume that the same thing will happen, that people will suddenly show up, and let us all be prepared so we can get the jump on them.
Yeah.
Okay. This door shows off the night hag swaddling a human infant in her arms. As the door opens, you see an active volcano.
Okay.
Shards of black
Close it.
rock seem to just float around the molten magma. As you can see, two man-sized creatures with insectoid faces reach out to jump at you all. So we have two mesoloths.
Having
Yep.
myself actually been transported from one place to another within the dungeon, does this feel like further like interdimensional like wobbly do, or is this like an illusion?
This is definitely some form of teleportation.
Some form of wobbly do. Gotcha.
So you did have, you were prepared for something to jump out.
Yeah.
So I will say, Captain and Tower, being right there, you do both get to use your reaction straight away, if you'd like, to attack whatever appears.
Yep, sure will.
Like to.
Yeah, the one closest to me, I'll just attack twice. Not going to add anything to it. Ooh,
You
crit.
just the one attack.
Oh, I can't. Oh, it's not.
Remember,
Okay,
what you're doing is readying
right.
an attack.
Sure.
Okay. So
Well, are you ready an attack or an attack action? I just
you
don't.
ready an attack.
I got you.
Good.
So this time, again, still resistant to the fire. It came from a lava place.
Volcano. Volcano flame.
4 attack does hit. Another 12 points of slashing. Okay, do I have everyone else in the initiative? I do. So let me roll theirs. Natural 1 on theirs. Nice. All right, so Zola. These tiny little bug creatures, which, you know what, show you all a full picture of these little guys.
There's a lot of fodder for next week's Who's That Monster in this
Mhm.
episode.
Cute.
Nice. All right, so I will get here without entering the range of the second guy. And then I will unleash.
That will hit.
Ooh.
Ooh, 28, nice.
Uh,
Heavily weakened.
Again with the offhand.
5, nice. Anything else, Zola?
Step back to there.
Bijo.
I am going to see. I will just move myself down here, sword and shield it, stab the guy with my lich dagger.
Hunter's mark. Excuse me.
Well, I want to see because it's been hit a lot. I want to see if I could pass it to the other one instead with the bonus more action. Is my plan.
25 hits for 8.
And I'm going to add my Colossus Slayer to this one. Just to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Before you tell me how much, if that killed it or not.
That's a dead Mesloth.
All right. So it serves you right. And now I'm going to say, and you're going down. And I'm going to pass my mark to him. And Stabe and Hunter's mark.
That 18 just about manages to hit for 12.
Great.
Okay.
And I'm going to, though it would provoke an attack, I'm going to go back these 5 feet.
Okay. The Mesloth will try to strike out at you with its trident.
Ooh.
Do I have
That's a
my reaction
23 to
back?
hit.
That
Do I have
hits.
my reaction back at the start of the turn?
Not until your turn starts.
All right.
Yep. So 12 to hit. 12 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Captain.
not minus 112. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Yeah.
Captain is gonna step around to there and then just attack him with his long sword that everyone seems resistance against. But it is what I have, so I attack the people. Not gonna add any smite damage to it. Just smash.
None of them hit.
None of them hit?
A 15 and a 17 don't hit. The thing just swipes away your blade with its trident.
It is tiny. Now I am frustrated. That is all.
Sorry, do I get to roll a will because I just took damage?
Do you...
For the mind control.
Maintain.
For the Aboleth? Yes. Let me double check the Aboleth.
Or sorry, not a will, a wisdom. I'm speaking past editions.
The Aboleth might specify when the Aboleth hurt you. Let me double check.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to deal with the Aboleth.
You do have a deal with the Aboleth.
But doesn't mean he still isn't firmly in control of Pijiao's mind.
Oh.
Yep. Okay. So, the Aboleth control. Here we go. Enslave. So, whenever the charmed target takes damage, the target can repeat the saving throw. Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw. PJ.
Oh, I'm myself again.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't think he likes me much now, though.
You're not in the room anymore, so you can't hear it talk. But
I don't want
yes, Pijo, you suddenly come to and realize you've been under the control of the Aboleth this entire time.
Yeah.
Didn't really do much to Tower.
He made me turn the thing. So.
Meanwhile, nobody notices, and tower attacks. I'll move there and get a punch.
Yep. That'll do it.
12. Goes to cool. No, 19. Yeah.
19 will hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Carmen.
Carmen will run in. Come on, boys. Let's just get this done with. And
21.
That'll hit. Anything else?
Another one.
And do it again.
Another solid 10. It is very weak, but still up.
Oh, really?
Averine. Yeah. Averine, can you kill it before it gets a turn?
We'll see. I move to get a clear shot, and I throw my firebolt out. 29 for 7 damage.
It's a hit, but 3 points of fire damage is not quite enough to finish it off.
Sorry. Carry on.
It was a good try, though.
The Mesloth gets to pick a target, and it's going for Carmen.
Oh, nothing.
I was going to move back. I just didn't get.
I will attack it.
Would you have? Wait. I kind of rushed on to another person. Would you have moved, Carmen?
I would have moved back at least a block, yeah, because it's.
Okay.
Because
Knowing it
I'll
would have.
take it. I'll take it. That's if
giving Captain his sentinel, which was.
It already used its reaction on me, though.
No.
As it were.
Oh, it did.
It did absolutely.
Yeah.
So never mind. So if you want to move away from it, you can do, Carmen.
okay.
Or stay. It's cool.
So it's going to attack Laszlo with the two-handed trident strike. Hoya! With a 16.
Katink off the shield.
Pulling the trident.
God.
Too good that game.
Slash with the claws. That's a 20 to hit.
20 misses, or is that against me or tower?
That's against Laszlo.
This is again. AC's 22.
All right. Zola.
I got it.
I missed you. You missed me. It is a tete-a-tete.
That'll hit. And once more, how does this thing die?
Yay!
Maybe I'll just stick it in his gob. He's got like little mandibles, right? That's like the perfect size for the blade of the cutlass.
Yeah. Okay. Slicing in, it's trying to just clip at the side of the blade as your hand sinks closer to its mouth, but that is a dead Mesoloth. It dies. Second ruby lights up, and the wardrobe goes inert. Well done. What are you doing now?
Guys, I just want to let y'all know, don't go out there because something was in my head, and I just got it out because I got smacked in the face by that trident. But it is bad news.
What in the hell are you talking about, Piju?
The monster thing that almost ate me and Averine and me and Zola a few days ago, and it was just in my brain, and it was telling me to do things, and I didn't like it, and I don't really remember a whole lot, but I don't usually remember a whole lot, so I don't know if that's the monster, if that's me. I'm be careful by the water.
Buddy, he was in all of our brains
Yeah.
when we were in that room.
No, it was different. He
How
told me
is
to
it
do
different?
things. He told me to do things I didn't want to do.
Oh,
He shut Obolaka up for a while. I didn't like that. I mean, I don't like Obolaka that much, but I like her better than that guy.
I did kind of like the quiet, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I'm
Says
sorry.
Obolaka.
Yeah. Good to have you back, friend. You're much better than other people.
We'll talk about it
Sorry.
later.
Okay, sorry, just
Right,
let y'all know.
okay. No, so as long as you're okay, it's all right. It's okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
So, what next?
Well, this seems to be going remarkably well. Everyone get ready, and I will wait about 4 seconds and then kick open the door to another wardrobe. Ready to lay the righteous fury upon anyone.
As the claw just tears the door off. This door was the one of the ornate clock. As it opens, you can see an enormous interlocking gear system that just stretches out forever, as if you're looking inside an infinitely long clockwork mechanism. Suddenly, a spherical construct with spindly little legs gets launched out towards you. It falls on the floor, prone, stands up suddenly, whirring and screaming, and starts desperately trying to run back through the gate, but it keeps getting pushed back by the wardrobe as it's screaming. What are you guys going to do?
Smack it.
Go ahead and smack it.
Oh, put him back. He's scared.
I mean, it has dawned on Laszlo that these might be innocent people sucked into the machine again and into the tomb against their will, but there's only one way forward, so he is going to set that aside and just kill things.
I will let Laszlo take the first hit. I'll get the staff ready to go and smack down on it, and then look at Pijo's face and be like, obviously seeing he's very, very upset, and be like, oh, I don't really want to smack it because I'm, a bit green now. But then Laszlo will obviously beat me, I imagine.
Holy shit.
No real need, as Laszlo completely slices through the monodrone. You hear a scream of pain as cogs and gears just fall to the floor.
Oh my God, Laszlo, no! It didn't even hurt us. It wasn't even mean looking.
And a third. Ping.
You kind of beat me to it then. It's all right.
That's
Okay.
not good. We're gonna have to kill babies or something next.
To be fair, the other things have not really hurt us either, other than making Tower's hair go a little frizzy on the end, These are the things we committed to do when we entered these tombs. Do not fail. Do not shirk from your righteous responsibility to get to the bottom. And as you said only a moment ago in the other chamber, let us go save the world. If we must break some eggs to make the omelet, then
I do not like that. I don't like that phrase. We're not breaking any eggs.
if we must murder some children to free the world,
I don't know that that's better.
human children, not eggs.
Oh,
You know,
Maybe
Black,
feel better
black,
that way.
just stop.
you'd make a
stop.
really good yuan tea.
Yeah, just stop. Stop.
Oh, I
stop.
do not.
Get
I
away
do
your
not
head.
enjoy it, but these are the things that must be done.
Yeah, but quit while you're ahead.
Okay.
We'll definitely clip that out of context. It'll be perfect. The
15 years from now, Matt's running for public office somewhere, and we just hear that soundbite.
Senate committee. I did not mean what that says out of context.
that last wardrobe that opened. So
Yeah.
both what we saw and the creature that came out tells me that maybe these are all gateways to different planes. So I'll just chime in. I'll say, Piju, don't worry. These creatures aren't native to this plane. When we kill them, they just return to their plane. We're doing them a favor. I don't know that that's actually how it works, but that's what Averin says.
Well, I'm gonna, and Peugeot doesn't know that's how it works. You're gonna choose to trust Averin because it'll make him sleep easier.
It is a common thing about most extra-planar entities that when they die, they are simply sent back to their plane. So yeah, it works.
Done him a favour.
All right. So what pictures have we got left?
So the last two, the one on the right is an army of orcs clashing with an army of hobgoblins. The one on the left is the screaming humanoid faces wrapped in chains.
Right. So could I defer that these are from certain gateways and
Material planes.
like the one wrapped in chains would infer something in the nine hells, and the orcs traditionally are from the material plane that I'm aware of.
There is another plane of existence that is heavily populated with orcs and hobgoblins. Roll a religion check to see if you know which one.
I think Ty's token is over mine, so I can't.
Yeah, that's fine. History or religion?
Religion.
Usually, more likely religion.
Down.
Where are you, religion? And where are you?
Oh!
One or the other.
What's the result? Oh, okay.
One or two.
Well, it's either a 5 or a 24.
One or less than 20.
Unfortunately, you, off the top of your head, with the natural one with the 5, you can't seem to recall what plane of existence this could refer to. Anyone else could try it.
Might be
They wanted
quite
to.
obviously devils.
Can Carmen try and have a look, because with Mummy and Daddy going down to the Nine House at one point.
So, yes, roll a religion, history, any of those. Yeah, you would be able to confirm that the one on the left does seem to depict a scene from the Nine Hells.
Okay,
The
cool.
one on the left. So
Yeah.
you can be sure that there's probably some form of devil, fiend, that will be coming out of that one.
Okay, fine.
But
So
the
I
one
will
on the
tell
right, you're not sure about.
Okay. I'll
Uh,
tell the group that.
Towers trying to think between the two. These are doors. They're also exits. They seem to be like or is it that these doors? It seemed like you couldn't pass through these doors. They were rebounding anyway, weren't they?
Having watched the monodrone trying to get back to Mechanus, it couldn't. The door was a one-way gate. It couldn't get back.
Right. Okay. So it doesn't really matter which one we picked then. I think squishy orcs.
You want squishy orcs or horny devils?
No, squishy orcs.
Okay.
Okay. So opening the wardrobe to Acheron, dust and smoke seems to billow out as the air around you suddenly fills with the sounds of an intense battle. Suddenly you see a small unit of orcs charging forwards towards you through the door, all of them drenched in hobgoblin blood. They will be coming through the door rather than being teleported. So I will arrange them in such a fashion. There we go.
Oh, hello.
So we're going to roll for initiative now.
Back to my steady 5 and below. It was a nice run while it lasted.
Captain Carmen, Zola, Pijo, Averine. 4, 5. Tower. Got an 18.
Yep.
Okay.
You can use that.
What did Carmen roll? A 24. Okay.
Oh, you overdid it.
Oh, did I overdo it?
Yeah,
again?
you did. Yeah.
Sorry.
I changed it. It's okay.
Thank you.
So 18.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I clicked on it.
It's okay. Her token is on top of yours, so it makes sense.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
As these orcs come piling out, running straight forward towards you, with an angry bloodlust in their eyes, Carmen,
Yes.
you get to act first. What are you going to do?
So if I was to do a spell, can I do a spell in the middle of all of them? Are they all in the room, or are they? Can I only see 2 of them at the moment?
You can see all of them. They're all on their way. The gate does not allow travel through.
Okay.
There's no reason why you can't cast a spell in the midst of them.
Right. Okay. Fine. In that case, I'm going to try. I've not used the spell yet. It's a new spell. I'm going to try Synaptic Static.
Okay. All right.
Oh, my gift didn't work. That's annoying. But I would try and put it. It's a 20-foot radius, so I would 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd put it maybe around here, so I don't capture any of our guys, but.
Mm-hmm. So they each have to roll intelligence saving throws. I'll just roll a couple to represent the entire group. What's the spell save DC?
Spell save is
16.
16, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Rather than going through all of them, they all fail. Now, as a result of Synaptic Static, they take 8d6 psychic damage. Go ahead and roll 8d6.
Yay! What? No, sorry, D6.
Yeah.
Lainey, I looked at what the GIF was, and it was a very good choice for this.
Thank you.
Okay. Immediately
I
grabbing their heads in pain, all of them but one die.
Ooh.
So fast.
These are like actually audibly squawk laughs when that happens.
What was my gif on that? Oh, it's a good gif.
Yeah.
Oh, gutted. Oh, never mind.
You'll have to
I'll
use
fix
the
it
spell
for next time.
It's a good spell. It's a good spell.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting to use it, to be fair.
Okay. Anything else from you, Carmen?
I'm just going to blow her nails, step back a little bit, and be.
Blow her nails, be a little terrifying.
That's
Okay.
it.
Then
That's
we move to Tower.
I was going to be a little shocked. Sure, his little head's exploding. Bat the last one.
Okay. Go ahead and strike out at the last one. Uh, 19 is going to hit. For 7 points of piercing damage. This guy seems really quite tough, so he doesn't seem to be phased by those attacks.
I'm alright. Give him another blow. Not really.
Unfortunately, the 10 is going to miss. Anything
Yeah.
else from you, Tower?
Just sit there and look mean.
Zola.
I'm gonna slither up the side of the wardrobe and perch on top of it, and then coil down and strike through the gate there.
Sure.
Like a little stinger, just
Yep.
in and out.
Yep.
That's a hit.
Cool.
25 points of damage. He's hurt, but still alive.
All right, let's try with the offhand.
Okay. Anything else from you, Zola? Okay. As you stab into him, he looks back up at you and screams a loud battle cry in Goblin. Do any of you speak Goblin? Okay. Those of you that do understand Goblin hear that he is shouting, "For Grumsh, you will die." Right. Averine, what would you like to do?
I'll move over there to get a clear shot to the fella. And shoot a firebolt. 22 for 9 damage.
Right. Hits, hurts, screams in pain, but he's still conscious.
I'll respond in the same language and say, "Give us your best fight! We'll send you back to Grumpsh!" That's it.
In a mad rage. Oh. I think Roll20 has
Rage quit.
stopped for me.
In a mad rage, Roll20 has stopped.
Okay.
In a world.
It tried to give the message by making his rolls terrible, and finally not getting the hint. It just
There we
gave
go.
up.
Pulling a huge blooded great axe out, he's going to strike out at Tower with the great axe. That is a 13 to hit.
Yeah.
That hits. Okay. Terrible damage, though, as that is 7 points of slashing damage. He'll then strike out a second time. That's a 16 to hit
Yep.
for an additional 16 points of slashing damage.
Okie doke.
And I need the bear to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No effect. All right. Ciao.
Well, I'm going to fly. Oh, I'm going to pass my hunter's mark over there. Bonus action.
Okay.
And I'm going to fly. So I'm above it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stab it with the dagger. Where I scrolled too far down.
At the hunter's mark.
And the Colossus Slayer.
Okay. As the blade sinks into the top of his skull, how does this one die, Pijo?
Well, so I figure as I bolt off the ground in the air, I do kind of like a little spin twist and I bring it down behind me as I'm coming in because I just saw him slash up at Tower with that axe and I kind of wrench the blade down that way and pull it out. So his face kind of gets cleaved a little bit. Looks like someone's got a splitting headache.
Oh.
Even Obalaka says, "I don't approve of that." So that was going out there, and that was inappropriate. All right, 4 of the 5 crystals lit up. Only one left. One door.
Is the body of the orc still there, as well as the Modron and the ghouls?
Everything except the orcs have dissolved and disappeared back to their plane. The orc war chief, as he was out of the door, when he died, his body fell on the floor, stayed there, as did his weapon and armor.
Can I take a look at those to see if they're anything worth bringing with us?
The great axe is definitely something worth. Well, it's definitely a magical great axe.
What kind of armor is he wearing?
Chainmail. So I think you all already have at least chainmail or better for your character.
Zola
Under
and
the-
Biju do not.
Would you want to wear chainmail?
That's heavy.
Pijo can't fly if his armor's more than light, so.
Okay.
Sorry, Laszlo, what were you going to say?
Under the influence of Papazotl, I berate Tower for going out of formation and being the one up front when that's where I'm supposed to be, and do what I say, blah, blah, blah.
I was just gonna. This is his formation. It has been for like 6 months.
All right.
No, a few weeks.
Well, how long have we been out for?
50-something days?
Yeah.
Hmm,
6
Long
weeks,
time.
2 months.
Nearly
2
2 months.
months.
85 days according to the notepad we have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
And I think Laszlo's been with the group for 35 hours?
So, who's opening the last one?
Laszlo will open it.
All right. The bear tears through the door. Waves of heat just suddenly cascade and hit the two of you that are in the door. I need both of you to roll Constitution saving throws against the
no.
immense heat.
I'm quite certain whatever creature comes out of this place of incredible heat, surely they won't be resistant to fire.
Surely.
Surely.
I get a +2 because of Laszlo being next to Laszlo.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
14.
using the Laszlo perk. Now you're friends.
14. You both succeed. No ill effects there. As the wave of heat cascades over you, you can see beyond it just an iron road that seems to wind up towards a huge citadel. Prisoners seem to just scream all along this road as they have been chained to it.
Oh,
And
Do
a
I-
creature
Do I know
with
what
a...
name it is?
Yeah?
Do I know what
The Nine Hells. This is definitely the
it's
Nine
the 9. I would have told you guys.
It's definitely then creeping out of the door is a creature with wings, a bony form, and a skull-like visage. It is a bone devil. We're going to roll for initiative.
Do we get their reaction attack?
You do. The two of you that had prepared do get to act first. The bone devil, for those that may be interested in seeing this creature in all its glory, looks like so,
Ooh.
with its huge articulated bone tail just ready to strike, specifically.
That's all right. Got it. We got it.
So,
Good.
Captain Laszlo, is that pitiful 9 yours?
Yes. But we attacked at the same time, so I get advantage, right?
You did 26 tower.
That
Not
wasn't.
from the
Oh, I
other
didn't
side.
No, you didn't.
Oh, damn it. Well, change it.
Can you add Carmen in? To,
Yes, I can.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I will get a laptop
I
soon.
don't know if it's just been clicky because you did it. So it's 26,
And then you had a.
and I
12.
12. Yeah, it's not terrible, but
Okay, so I saw an attack of opportunity or a reactionary prepared attack from Captain Laszlo, but that completely just missed this creature. The natural one, that's also going to miss. Okay, right up at the top of the round, Carmen.
Yes.
What you gonna do?
Oh, Carmen is going to She hasn't got anything that will have advantage on this, so she'll just hit him with her staff of striking. So.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'll flank him. So I'll go on this side. Will that count?
Okay. Yes, it will.
Oh.
With the 16, because you are flanking, that's going to miss.
Yeah, I thought it would. Okay, so I'll have another go. That's better.
That is definitely going to hurt. 14 points of force damage.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I'll add my defensive flourish on that one as well.
I
Okay.
did what series?
That's added 5 to my AC then. Yeah.
Yep.
And then she will step out of the way.
Okay. It is going to attempt to hit you with its stinger as you leave its range.
Okay.
But that is a 20 to hit. I think with the +5, that misses.
Yeah, got
Yeah.
22.
I'm on
So
22 now.
just misses completely. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Anything else from you, Carmen?
No, that'll be it. Thank you.
Bijo.
All right. Flying up to it, right here, passing my mark over to it. And I'm just going to do 2 dagger strikes.
Okay. 25 hits.
Okay. It's been hurt already, right?
It has been hurt already.
Okay, good. And then 1 more of these guys.
Okay. Also another strike.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
And
will return back to where I was over here.
Okay. Captain. Laszlo.
Laszlo is going to attack him. And I am going to throw some stuff on it, so don't tell me if I hit him yet or not.
This is a fiend.
Yep. Does 16 hit? Probably not.
Are you adding stuff to it?
So Divine Smite is when I hit with a melee attack.
Correct.
So I'm not adding anything before I find out if it hits or not.
Okay. So it doesn't hit with a 16.
Attack him again. That was a 19.
That will hit.
Okay, and I'm gonna hit him with my Divine Smite as well, which
Okay.
I don't think my math is set up to do that right.
That is as
Yeah,
if you
2d8.
rolled one, first level.
It was first level, but because it's a fiend, I get to add 1 more d8. Damage goes up
Which
by
it's-
8.
Is included.
No,
the-
the first level slot's 2d8 always, and then if it's an undead,
Yep.
like 1 more, right?
Yes, and as you can see on the Divine Smite, there you have a 5 and a 7. The
Oh.
5 was 2d8, the 7 was an extra one. So
That's
I'll take the 7 over the 3.
Thank you.
You will, however, notice that this thing is immune to fire damage. Not just resistant, immune
Well,
to the
and
fire
that's fine.
damage.
The Divine Smite is radiant.
Yep.
Does he seem weak to radiant damage?
He doesn't seem in any way vulnerable to it, but it doesn't seem to be resistant to it either.
Sure. Let's see. So that's my 2 attacks.
Yep.
And then, yeah, why not? I'm gonna use a Channel Divinity and hit him with. I'm gonna hit him with Abjure Enemy.
Okay.
He has to make a
So-
Wisdom saving throw. He has
That's a
disadvantage.
20.
He has disadvantage as a fiend. Fiend and undead have disadvantage on the saving throw.
But the devil had. Oh, this is not spell. Is this a magical effect? I don't.
It's Channel Divinity.
Does
The
it say
creature
anywhere
makes a
in its
throw.
description magic or magically?
No, it says that there's a Wisdom saving throw unless the creature is immune to being frightened.
Nope. Okay, so it fails. What does that mean for it?
I'm sorry, I don't have this set up, so I can just plug it in. Its speed is 0 for 1 minute, or until it takes damage. It's frightened for 1 minute. While frightened, its speed is 0. Can't benefit from any bonuses to its speed, and it just
Right.
sits there.
Like you did with the Minotaur
Correct.
last week. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anything else from you, Captain?
That is it.
All right. The Bone Devil is happy to stay where it is, as it's going to attack you. What?
It's all right.
It is. Okay. It's going to attack Laszlo twice with the Stinger. Now, does it have disadvantage on its attacks with the Abjure enemy?
With the Abjure enemy, no.
No, because it's not specifically considered frightened, is it? Does it have the condition
well, on
frightened?
a failed save, the creature is frightened for 1 minute.
Okay, so it does have disadvantage while you're within line of sight of it. So, a claw attack at disadvantage is an 18.
Misses.
Second claw attack is a 16.
Misses.
And the stinger attack is a 12.
Also misses.
Misses. All right, Zola.
Okay. Get there. And try to cut into its tail. Separate that thing so it can't use it.
That'll hit. That'll hurt.
And again.
Okay, heavily wounded now.
And then back away quickly.
Tower.
I'm gonna waddle around to the other side of it and attack from there.
All right. Striking out at this creature that is currently frightened, you have advantage.
I'm gonna bite its tail.
It's not frightened anymore, though, right? Because it took damage.
Correct. It's only frightened until it takes damage.
18.
18 is not going to hit.
No.
Oh.
I guess we know where that threshold is then.
Oh.
It's tough.
I'm not gonna hit with that.
Okay, out the way.
Averine.
Looking at my wand and just shaking my head. That's not going to do anything this time. I'm going to cast Bless at... I don't need the benefit of it, but everyone else sure probably could use it. So I will do one... my scrolling is where... Okay, at third level to get 5 people. So everyone but me gets blessed. And I will click on them and I'm done.
All right. Now, you told me recently that Laszlo's thing doesn't work, which I will fix right now. The button that I had set up to be the auto bless just requires me to turn on the global save and attack modifier for Laszlo.
Bless.
Sorry if my sheet wasn't set up right.
Nope, this was something for me to do. There you go. All right, so you are now blessed. Well done. Anything else from you, Averine?
That's it.
Okay, top of the round, Carmen. This thing is very weak.
Yes. Then Carmen will run up to it and have an attack. Stick into her. Yeah, exactly like that. Exactly like that.
Waving that stick around, just... How does this thing die?
Oh, so as she comes down, she'll go for it's kind of like between, like it's on its neck, like just above its end of its back and its neck, and just try and just crack it, smack in the middle, and just.
As the staff of striking hits it, there's a reverberation as the bones just seem to expand and contract in an instant through a shockwave, shattering completely. The head falls intact at Laszlo's feet. The rest of the body disintegrates. That is a dead Bone Devil.
And she gives Laszlo a little wink.
As the last of these creatures falls, the portcullis drops as well. As it opens up the corridor leading northwards.
You said the skull fell intact?
It did, but it'll disappear after a second.
Yeah, if there's nothing interesting about it, that's fine.
No.
I do not care much for bones.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone care for that fella's axe? It looks quite sharp.
Peter's just gonna try to pick it up just to see.
It seems perfectly weighted, Pijo.
Ooh. Well, somebody else could probably get better use out of this than I can. So,
I mean, I guess I can hold the sword and hold the axe and look at them and try to eyeball which one would work better for me.
depending on the situation, if this thing's immune to fire, time to take out this.
I mean, you know, I guess.
A great axe is a heavy weapon, if I remember rightly, so it does require two hands to wield it.
Nope, not giving up my shield.
All right.
Yep. Right. But it is definitely a magical item. So, the corridor...
Wyatt. If that,
Yeah.
no one else is going to take it.
Pijo might get use out of it, but Tower would get better use out of it than Pijo would.
Laszlo, would you mind carrying the axe until Tower resumes his furbogel form?
Certainly I can. I mean, we could put it on his back and it would like stay there. He's a very big bear, but I understand that he I understand without the opposing. Oh yes, you are super strong now, little.
I'll carry it if you're
double kill.
tired. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Don't want you getting tired.
All right. So, you have the
I was
axe.
just
If
gonna-
you wanted to find out what it does, obviously you need to either identify or spend a short rest playing with it. As you guys see the open space ready to move on through, before you do, we are going to take a short break at this point. So, do we have a Who's That Monster for this week? We do. Then on your screens in just a moment, you will see today's Who's That Monster. Go ahead and type out in the chat what creature from last week's session you think that might be. And we will find out after our short break. All right. Bye. Welcome back after our break. Thanks for sticking with us. Hi. How you doing?
Hey.
I need to stall. So, today's Who's That Monster? It'll be up on your screen any moment now. Who was it? Drum roll, please, from everyone. Are we good?
Keep drumming those rolls.
Keep rolling it. Keep rolling it. What do you think it is? Last second. Last second.
Oh, hey.
There we go.
It's the Minotaur skeleton. So well done to OMG It Gongles for correctly guessing. Good job. Way to pay attention. So, as a reminder, as always, our Who's That Monster is a creature from the previous session. So, next week's session, it'll probably be either a Bone Devil, an Orc, a Metrodon, a Mesoloth, or a Will-O-Wisp.
Or something we haven't met yet.
Or Shambling Mound.
Or a Shambling Mound. Yep. Or whatever's downstairs. So, let's jump back to our adventure. Portcullis dropped. The corridor leads off ahead towards the northern space. As you all crest towards it, the corridor splits off and goes down a wide staircase. You can hear the sound of crackling lightning and energy from this area. How do you guys want to proceed?
Should we not go forward? There's this other direction we could have gone. I'm not sure if we should. I'm second guessing my original call of aligning it this way. There's another room down south, according to that map, back in the control room. Should we go back?
Why wouldn't we just go forward?
Forward, always forward. If we wind up in a dead end, we can come back later.
We could come back. We can have a look, and then if you're not happy, Averine, we can always come back.
Or we could go forward, and if we're not happy, that probably means you're going the right direction. The less happy we are, the more likely we are going the right direction.
And Carmen will elbow Laszlo and be like, we will have a look and see, won't we?
That is what I said.
Just be a bit nicer. Come on, be a bit nicer.
I do not. What do you mean, be nicer?
Like just nod, and sometimes you just nod and agree, and just, you know, Averine might want to hear
I bow to
something.
no one.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm trying to help you here. You know, I'm trying to help.
Well, that is clear, and I thank you for it.
You're
but
welcome.
nonetheless, let us do the sneaky sneak walkie walk.
Okay, but me first.
Tower's already gone.
Oh, he's gone. The bear's gone. The bear's gone.
It's that impetuous streak, that deity inside of him. So, heading forward, turns left, drops down some stairs. Sorry, microphone was away from my mouth. There we go. So, you head down the steps, and about halfway down the corridor, there is a dark staircase that juts off to the south and heads down to a lower level. Beyond the staircase, you can just see blue crackling lightning, just blocking all sort of vision. That's like a wall of lightning.
When you say beyond the staircase, do you mean on the level we are, or down the staircase to the left?
On the level that you are.
Okay.
Beyond it. So you can go down the stairs, or you can go and explore the lightning.
Ooh.
Lightning seems a lot more dangerous than stairs.
Which is probably meaning that they do not want us to go that way, which means that is the way we should go.
I mean, they don't want us to go any of the ways.
I mean, there always are dangerous, but there is a way less dangerous, which, knowing the machinations of the architect of this dungeon, makes me think at the end will be a certain doom.
We are trying to go as low as possible, right?
Right, but we can go. It's like before. You had the little spirally staircase that went lower, but it was safer because it was in the back, because they did not think we would find it. Right?
Shall I have a look at the lightning? It seems like an arcane presence. I'll take that as a yes.
That is what I said.
Yeah.
So it's like lightning bolts, or is it a cloud?
So, how close are you to it? Because it looks like you're nowhere near it.
Well, because I can't see it. I don't know where it is.
Sorry. It's down the corridor.
Oh, it's down here?
Yes.
Oh,
That's the direction you guys went, right?
I'm going to walk slowly down the hallway, unless someone, not running carelessly. You're trying to be careful about it.
I just wasn't sure if it was at the stairs. So yeah, if it's not at the stairs, then I'm not looking at it.
I'm on the ceiling.
Okay. So Laszlo, as you get up to the staircase, you can see through the doorway, you see a room that is crackling with energy. It seems to create just this wall of this sphere of electronic bolts that just keep striking this central point. Hanging from the ceiling is a huge metal construct that lightning just seems to either be sparking towards or from. It's not really clear what the origin is, but hanging above appears to be a clouded mist of bluish green, through which you can see those gears just like you had through the door to Mechanus.
And these stairs down here?
Stairs down there lead down to the lower level. Does Zola go down a little bit to look at what's at the bottom?
I don't think she's no, not yet. But she is gonna keep an eye to make sure that nothing is coming up that direction or anything.
Nothing's coming up. So what do you guys want to do?
I'll call up Ed. That looks very interesting. However, we have the keys, and that's the way down. Perhaps we should just ignore it.
Yeah,
Do
I
we
once
see?
heard.
Do we see the passage behind? Sorry.
You can see the passage behind.
Can we see what's past the passage behind? Ah,
Can't see what's past
More
the passage
passage.
behind. Yep.
wonderful.
I don't want to touch things that are going to hurt us if we don't have to.
Tower's gonna nudge Carmen's coin pouch. To like.
Throw a coin in? Do we throw a coin in?
Mm,
Okay. All right. So Carmen will take a coin out.
Okay.
And look at Averine and be like, should I throw it in?
Are we gonna make a wish?
Well, wish that we all get out of here alive might be a good wish.
Sounds
Yeah?
great.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right. And then just
You throw the coin in. The moment it passes that threshold, lightning seems to just spark off of it. And
okay.
the fact that it is metallic seems to be conductive of the energy, and as it flies towards, you can watch it slowly heat up, melt, and then drip before you.
Oh.
The amount of electronic energy in there, lightning energy, must be extremely powerful to be able to melt a coin mid-flight.
Okay.
Tower's then going to step up to the threshold where he saw the lightning start to go.
Mhm.
He's going to put his paw in.
Why?
Okay. As you do so, lightning will strike at you. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
You change that.
You are close enough to Laszlo that you get his bonus.
So that would be
14.
16.
16. Okay. So with the 16, your body is able to withstand a little bit of the energy, but not all of it. You effectively take half damage at 11 points of lightning damage.
Yep, it's fine. Still. Right, I'll retract.
How?
I'll retract the paw.
Why?
Bit of sizzling, burnt bear hair.
We're gonna smell a bit of bear
Yeah.
around the
I
room.
was trying to see if it was only attracted to conductive metal and not to physical flesh, and to see if Tower could pass through as bear having no metal on him.
Carmen's gonna roll
It
her
was a good
eyes
idea.
back.
Have I smelled any treasure within 30 feet? Okay, just putting that out there.
Yeah.
And I can't smell anything else. I can't smell ozone or the burning. I can't smell the burning flesh of the bear.
It doesn't smell good. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
it's for the better.
Yeah.
So we should go down the stairs, unless we're gonna all just crisp up in there. Doesn't seem pleasant. I don't like that.
What's up with the machine thing, Averine? Is that making the electricity? Can we destroy it from a distance?
Do you think that machine thing is a machine for, like, what purpose do you see in destroying a machine?
I was just thinking it might stop the lightning.
Can I take a look from beside the bear and see what's in there and make an educated guess at what I'm seeing?
Roll an investigation check. It's going to be very difficult because you're kind of at a distance. You're only just watching lightning strike metal. Okay. It's clear that as you get closer, you can even see that this bluish cloud that is atop is also below as well. And what you're actually watching is lightning striking from either side and connecting to the metallic device in the center. So the origin of the electricity is not the metallic device in the center.
So it's like a battery.
It does appear to be
Charging.
attracting, and it may be charging.
But what would need power?
The cogs to turn the device.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking. But that might be more reasonable.
Or maybe it's charging something downstairs to do with the abomination.
Oh.
From
Does this look like something we could dispel?
It might be possible to dispel, but the origins are the storms above and below, of which you can see is actually a gateway to Mechanus.
Ooh.
And the Modron mechanical plane. So
Okay.
it'll be very difficult to dispel. Possible, but very difficult.
Hmm. Okay.
So, just from what I can gather from my vantage point, there is no way to interrupt this. Well, their storms are from different planes.
Mm-hmm.
There is some sort of device apparent. Would I be able to determine whether or not destroying the device would interrupt whatever the mechanism is that it's trying to achieve, whatever goal it's trying to achieve? Can I thwart it from the doorway?
Roll a history check to see if you've ever heard of anything similar to this. With a 14, right? Okay. So
Unless I would have advantage for any reason.
I can't think of any reason why you would. Can you?
It depends on what you're about to say, because
The machine in the middle definitely focusing the electricity from both sides. There is a 50-50 chance that destroying this machine will either do nothing and the electricity is just free to strike everything even more potently because it's not being distracted, or the two storms are now attracted to one another rather than a focal point and cancel each other out and destroy one another. So one or the other. Do you gamble?
so there's a chance that destroying it will do nothing, and there's a chance that destroying the structure in the middle will do nothing, and there's a chance that destroying the structure in the middle will negate whatever this whole stormy thing is. We don't
Okay.
even know what the purpose is, but presumably it's not a good purpose.
That
What-
is a good
What
presumption.
would you like?
I do have one spell of the 5th sphere of power level that can focus an amount of radiant energy in a very specific area. But if I were to use that here, I wouldn't have that when we go downstairs.
When are we going to take a rest? Because I'm just conscious that I've used up a lot of my spells. We're all a little bit tired. I've lost my 5th level spell already. So if we're taking a rest soon, then you could use it and then we could have a rest and then you'll get it back.
I'm torn. I don't know which way to go. I'm conflicted. There's so many good reasons to do either thing.
I am wondering why this device requires so much energy. It is simply changing the rooms.
Evorine
It
cast
is
this spell.
charging other things.
It can only be
seems a-
good to destroy the things that the Serarak has built. Cast this spell, see if
It
can
seems a
be-
little too dangerous. I think we should maybe not cast the spell.
No, I think you should do it. Smash it.
Tower has like he can cast lightning. He has experience with lightning, and as a druid, is there any check I can do to see if what average gleams of two lightning storms cancelling each other out can be true or not?
Nature, maybe survival or history.
Can I go? It's 5.
Just general experience check.
I will do natural 20.
Typically speaking, 2 storms would actually combine into one and create more impact. That does have the knock-on effect of expending more energy quicker, and therefore may run out what it's doing. But if there's an unlimited amount of energy from a source that is pure energy, then there's no way that this is going to collapse. It is going to just keep building on itself.
Tower will impart that knowledge.
So what you're saying is the best case scenario, nothing useful will come of it.
The best case scenario for us is that the storm will combine and become worse, but it will burn itself out very quickly. So we may have to endure something for an instant, but then it may dissipate. The worst case scenario is it is endless and we are dead.
That's a bad case. That's a bad scenario.
In terms of cases, I've heard of better.
Yeah.
All right, then I guess we ignore that storm room and head down the stairs.
Before we go down, does anybody care about the skull chalice? Because we found the other 2 things around here-ish.
What is this skull chalice?
It's one of the things that the Yellow Banner said that they were after. So you know it's at least a treasure at the level of that huge ruby that we found.
What is
Skulls don't sound too shiny. I think we shouldn't risk ourselves.
Is this thing have any magical properties, or is it just a ruby like the others?
Just a ruby.
Well, the princess that's at Kirsabal actually wants it. She contracted Grigori to find it, and then she goes, "Oh,
Oh,
Then Gregory can come and get it.
Who is that?
it's fine. It's just a friend of ours that he's now visiting people we know. It's fine. Okay.
You stopped yourself because you said his name, right?
no, I stopped myself because I was never my intention to say that, but the truth came out."
Oh, right.
Carmen's giving Zola a little bit of a rub on the shoulders. You know, sister to sister. It's all right. It's okay. I know. It's okay. It's all right. He's okay. We know he's okay. It's fine.
Thanks. I trust you. Your people.
He's fine. He's fine. Honestly.
He's very confused.
Provided he's behaving, it's okay.
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 So there's an area on the level above that we haven't explored, and I'll concede that there are areas on this level we have yet to explore, but I feel like if we survive and accomplish the mission that was set, the most important mission, and that is destroying the Soulmonger and whatever is required to do that, we could come back and get whatever we missed on this level and a level above.
For all we know, it could be in this passage behind us. And who wants to walk through that?
If we are not going to dismiss this magic Treasure does not interest me. Destroying the things at the bottom interests me, and you make the point that this is the staircase down, so let us explore downward.
For once, I am in agreement with this one.
Okay.
God
Okay.
is useless when we are dead.
So, feel free to rearrange yourselves in your marching order as you head down the staircase. The staircase drops a good 50-something feet at least.
I think our
It's
tradition.
hard to tell. Yep. No,
Go
go ahead.
sorry. I think traditionally it's Zola scouting and then Laszlo being a shield and then people behind him, right? Is that our usual marching order?
The room beyond, as Zola sees first and everyone slowly behind, is built on 2 levels. You have the base level and then a banister above, which has stairs leading up to it. The floor of this space is completely covered in a thick layer of green smoke. It just seems to wisp about all around you. Amidst all of the ruins and the smoke here, you can see a single metal cage which has a humanoid form inside of it. The humanoid form is decayed, so long since dead, beyond hope at this point, or at least you hope he is. Beyond which you see a door, the door of which stands out to you. Huge green stone, carved with skeletons all over it, and 5 shaped keyholes. But these keyholes seem to be covered. There are brass or bronze sheets blocking these keyholes in front of you. While you stand there admiring the place, they can't see Zola. Zola's slithering about, but they can see Laszlo. 3 tiny little figures waddle towards you through the smoky haze.
Shield up.
Straw. Oh, shield up. Okay, I thought you said shut up. I was like, no.
No. I don't want to hear anymore. If you don't say it, nothing bad happens to me.
The first is a straw doll with rusty pins sticking out of its body, a faceless child molded from clay, and a stuffed monkey.
And these aren't terrifying at all. That's fine.
These are so just okay as they just waddle up towards you. They tilt their head and look, you can hear the wheels squeaking as the monkey is pulling himself along. The straw voodoo doll turns its head. You need to run away. The Suon sisters will be back any moment now. You need to go. Please, mister, don't. Leave now.
Is there any convenient way to fight the Suon sisters?
They'll kill you all.
Yes.
Are they sewing pins? Like.
Yep.
They're sewing pins, aren't they? In her eye. Okay.
Avorine, this is your expertise, I think.
Playing with dolls?
Dolls do not traditionally walk and talk and say, leave or you will die. There is something magical afoot.
Please, please, you need to leave. Are you holding your hand up to say something?
Just curious, what does it smell like in here?
A thick smell of sulfur.
Does it smell like treasure?
Within 30 feet of you? Yes.
Interesting.
You smell treasure.
All right.
Ooh.
What are you trying to get at, Zola?
I'm wondering if it's either combustible or poisonous.
Ooh.
We had sulfur upstairs, and that was combustible, didn't we? Because it smells.
Yeah.
Is that sulfur?
If it was poisonous, it would have been affecting you guys by now.
Okay.
So it's not poisonous. Could be explosive. You don't know.
Okay.
Is there like
No
a
one way to find out.
perception check that I could do to see if that, or insight even, to see if it ticks off any natural responses? Like my body
I
saying
would.
no.
in effect rolling insight on yourself.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, roll insight. Against your survival instincts, maybe? I don't know. What's the result?
12.
12. Okay. It does seem scary, but it's not combustible. Your body is a little on edge, but not for fear of explosion.
I don't trust it, but I don't know why.
Just talk to the dolls. Tell us, find out what we can find out from them.
How will the Stone Sisters kill us? Will they turn us into dolls? Will they poison us? Will they stab us repeatedly in the eyes with sewing needles?
Okay.
They starved us.
Oh, so you have already died.
Yeah.
I am sorry to hear that. And who are you?
I'm Straw Bundle.
Straw Bundle.
This is Clay No Face and Joho the monkey.
Well, I am Vladislav.
Clay No Face then carves a mouth into his clay face, and it opens up. Hi. And it closes itself back up again.
Well, I understand that the Stone Sisters are scary, but we are going to go forward. So, if you can help us, I would be glad to hear what you have to say, and I am grateful for your warning. Do you need help?
Can you... The Soon Sisters have been protecting something that's beyond that gate. It's nasty. It's scary.
Did the Soon Sisters kill you?
Yes.
Oh, would it be righteous vengeance for us to destroy them for the things that they did to you?
If a straw bundle could look frightened, it does. The needles kind of twitch a little bit. It looks scared.
Carmen will play a little tune because they look scared, and Laszlo's not exactly, doing his Laszlo thing. So she's just gonna play a little tune and be like, TV child presenter style. Hi guys, how we doing? So that's fine, but we're here to help. So is there any really important information we need to know about this door, dling, or about the room, dling, that we can help with, so we can maybe get you out or make your life a bit easier? Dling.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
At advantage.
Okay. Because I'm
To be
being
nice. To be extra
friendly.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Dling.
Oh, okay. If you're quick, you might be able to get through the door and kill the baby before they get back.
Okay. So if they come back, if they do come back, which direction will they come from? Because there's quite a few doors in here. So could you guys stand or go near where they're going to be?
They point directly up the direction you've just come from.
Right. Okay. Great. Okay.
Tower's
Can
gonna
we roll
watch.
an insight check real quick?
Okay. So how
Inside check
how
a
long have
doll.
they been? How
Well,
long have they
insight
been
check
away?
to see if they're they're creepy, but if they're like malicious.
Roll an inside check.
I mean, they might not be, and I might just be, but
I'll do an inside check as well, because as much as I'm being nice to them, I don't trust people to not be honest. So
Can Tower take
I'm nodded.
head back up the staircase and just play watch out?
Okay. So you stand up, you keep watch. You don't seem to gain any additional insight from these little creatures. If you're quick, you need keys to get through the door.
Okay.
But you
how
can't
long do
use the
think-
keys on the door until the keyholes have been opened.
We can't use the keys on the door until the keyholes have been opened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long do you think we have until they? Do you think? Or when are you expecting them back?
Any I don't know. They just left.
How do you
Okay.
open the keyholes?
Each of these rooms, and you'll see there are 5 rooms jutting off the side of here, 5 doors.
Yeah.
They each have a lever that opens the gate. You need to pull those, and it'll open up the keyhole.
Captain strides right through the room and heads up the stairs to the left. I can't see Zola, so I guess I'd stop there.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, what? Yes, little doll.
Take Clay No Face with you. He's scared.
Oh, going with me will not be any safer than being here, I assure you.
He might be helpful.
Well, if
Which one is the most
Clay-
talkative?
Clay No
Straw
Face,
Bundle. Straw Bundle is the most talkative.
Clay No Face, if you wish to follow me, that is fine, and we will work together to get your righteous vengeance. But if you cross me, I warn you, that would go poorly. But if we work together, that is just fine. I have met more than one nice person here who is helpful. This is a nice group of people. They will surely help you too. But let us go, Clayface, fellow.
That was a very long way to say yes. And the little Clay No Face
I like
comes
you.
with you. While Clay No Face is in your possession, you don't need to eat, drink, or breathe.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So you stride up towards one of the doors. Zola is in front of another.
Zola's,
Uh,
I'll get
What was
this
that?
Zola's
okay.
invisible, so I don't know where she is, right?
No, true. No, you don't. Do you
What-
open a door, Laszlo? That central point is actually a cauldron that the black smoke, the green smoke is coming out of.
Tara's
Is it-
going to come back down. What are you guys doing?
We need to go into the rooms.
Yes, to open the. I heard to open the keyholes, but we are not ready to go in there now. We need to rest. We are not
You don't-
100%. And
Yeah,
if
but
we
they're gonna come
open
into
the
this place where
keyholes
we are right
the
now.
These Sun sisters will know that
Okay,
we
well,
have been
okay,
here.
okay. Well, P-Jow, what you say? Sorry, P-Jow, what did you say?
If we don't go in the doors, those Stone Sisters are gonna come into this room where we are right now, and it's gonna be even worse. And I think maybe we can go through those places, kill some baddies, and sleep in there.
But if we pull the levers, they will know.
Well, we don't have to pull the lever right away. We can wait. We can go in there, clear the space out, set up a little magical hut, wake up in the morning nice and fresh and ready to go, and pull a lever.
So we choose one room.
Yes.
Before we choose any rooms, can I look at this cauldron?
Yeah. Roll an investigation check.
Well, if we are all wandering around, I will look at the cage with the humanoid in it that is dead.
You have a corpse inside of a cage.
Is it a human corpse, an elf corpse? Is it the corpse of the little doll that is the girl?
No, it appears to be a human corpse, mostly decayed and rotted.
But I smell treasure within 30 feet.
You do. And Averine can see why. Inside the cauldron is quite a full, close to the brim, so about 2 foot deep vat of green liquid. Can't quite tell what kind of liquid it is, but it is definitely creating the sulfurous smell that and the smoke that is billowing out of here. At the bottom of this cauldron is a pile of gold.
Oh. P-Jow.
Is
It may be shiny, but there are dead people around it, and
There are.
that's all gross. It's tainted.
Okay.
is the cauldron being cooked? Like, is there a fire beneath it?
No, it just seems to be whatever liquid is in here is creating the smoke naturally.
You have no need for more gold. It is a trap.
Okay. I hear your point. We need to rest, but nah.
So, Are you opening any of the doors?
Not yet, but I will go around and try to listen and check for traps.
Listening in and checking for traps, you won't see any traps on any of the doorways, and you don't hear anything beyond the doors.
Let us just pick one then, and see. Does it look like something like these doors? Are they? What type of doors are they? Are they doors we can push open and close again? Or are they?
You push them open. They're thin doors, each one having a symbol on top of it of one of the key shapes. So there is a hexagon, there is a triangle, there is an octagon, there is a pentagon, and a square.
I lean down and I talk to the monkey guy. I said, "Hello, Mr. Monkey Man.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard much from you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you speak the common tongue?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we should open these doors and pull the levers?
Mm-hmm.
Are you afraid of the sisters?
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Does
think
he keep his mouth shut intentionally?
Or is it so?
He
It's like-
can't speak common. He can understand it, but he can't speak. So he's not keeping it shut for on purpose.
Okay.
do you think pulling the levers will bring the sisters to us? All right. Well, if you guys want to open the door, I don't see anything wrong with that. If you want to make camp inside the door, I guess will depend on what's in the room that we open.
They're all clear as far as I can tell.
But I suppose that whatever happens, I don't want to be in the sulfur when it happens. So I will post up right there.
That sounds wise.
Okay.
Then let us open this one. Everyone can be up above. And then if we must escape, we can jump down from the railing and be right next to the steps to go up the level.
I'll collect these fellows. Listen, we don't know what's going to happen when you open a door. Get out of here, or get out of the mist.
Okay. Oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. There we go. Averine, Straw Bundle wants to stay with you. And she'll kind of climb up onto the side of you and sit in your bag. While Straw Bundle is on your person, you can cast the Etherealness spell on yourself up to 3 times.
Ooh.
Without expending a spell slot or components.
How do I know that, or does the straw bundle tell me?
She blesses you. She kind of taps you on the back. It's okay. I'm really good at hiding, so you can hide too.
How are you so good at this?
Magic. So you're opening up number the room up at the front. Number.
The one in front. Opening is a soft word, more like kicking it down and going, "Arr!"
Okay. The
We need to watch
trial
this.
of the triangle.
We need to look like we have not been here.
I mean, we already took the friends, so they're gonna know.
So, peering through here, you can see a small room. It is only a 15-foot by 10-foot by 15-foot room, 15-foot tall. You can see a 5-foot wide floor-to-ceiling glass cylinder at the back of the wall. Inside, brilliantly lit up, is a lever. Nice and simple. It's inside the glass cylinder. There is a tiny triangular hole that is cut through the glass about 5 foot off the floor.
I go into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if anyone follows me.
The small triangular hole in the glass cylinder is just big enough to fit a finger in. So it's not that big.
Put your finger in it.
Carmen, isn't there, or Averine, isn't there a whoopsie doozle where you have a little magical hand doing things? So we don't have to like put our fingers through this hole?
does not work here.
Yeah, the mage hand spell does not work within this.
Well,
whoopsie doodle?
are there no other whoopsie doodles?
I have an unseen servant who can exert force upon things. It would take 10 minutes to bring him out.
Is it big enough for an arrowhead to fit through?
Yes, it is.
Use one of those. Maybe.
Well, do we want to solve that room or do we want to sleep in it?
Yeah, I was gonna. Do we want to have a rest first?
Is it big enough to sleep in?
You guys can kind of squeeze. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all laid down.
can
Do we
squeeze.
want to see if there's a different room that might be more taxing and take that on before we go into this empty room
Or
to
something
sleep?
with a lit,
I haven't
something
seen
with a
the
little
doors.
more
The
space.
doors aren't trapped, and the doors didn't really clean. Tower open the one next to him just to peer in and see if there's any bigger.
That one actually does have quite a bit inside of it
Oh,
as we open that space up. So, looking through here, this place is not empty. There is a person inside. There is a delicious aroma of spiced meats. There is a banquet of feasts going on inside that room. At the end of this corridor, you can see red tapestries all over the walls, a beautiful 3-course meal set up, roast boar, squash stew, ice cakes, quite nice.
yummy, yummy.
However, a gaunt human male in a dusty black suit is walking around like a waiter, just rearranging the food, not partaking, just ensuring that everything is pristinely placed. Without a word, he turns and gestures Tower to come forward.
Oh no.
And then he holds his hand out to invite you to sample the feast.
Oh. And there's curtains. Are you gonna close the door?
This one is not a good door.
What did you see?
So, Carmen, what do you think about this triangular hole that you and I are looking at intently as everyone else is in the hallway?
We can stick something in it. Should we stick something in it, or should we have a rest first?
Oh,
I'm
I
a
do
bit
not know.
tired. I'm a bit tired. We could just I could set up the hut.
Ah,
We could have, but it might be a bit of a squeeze. We have to wait till everyone's inside.
Can I see what this guy was being is he he's gesturing but he's not saying anything? Is he?
No, he's got it's just very quiet. He's just silent, just inviting. A
This
very straight look on his face.
looks all very too much. We've just gone through a hell load of crap, and this looks all too good and nice. Can I do detect magic? I want to see if this is an illusion.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, why? Why? Me and
I mean,
Gregory are out of it. Gregory.
You can detect that there is an aura of illusion magic around him,
Ooh.
and necromancy around the food.
Can I just
Zombie
slither
food.
past Tower and close the door while I go?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Yes, you can.
that is not a good room. There's an illusion in there. We should not eat anything that is sub to us.
Was there a lever?
Was there a
Didn't
lever?
see one. You didn't see one.
I did not see a lever in there, no. Should we try this one?
Why?
I just want to see what's in there.
Because he doesn't stick to plans.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
You open
Oh,
that door.
bigger room. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze.
Okay. This one is a slightly bigger room. This space. The trial of the hexagon. You can see a large, cracked, 6-sided mirror mounted above a stone shelf. 5 unlit candles stand on the shelf, each made of a simple yellow wax covered in tiny black sigils. Scrawled on the wall above the mirror in dried blood are the words, "Piggy, piggy, piggy."
This piggy room might be more suitable.
Piggy wiggy.
Piggy
Well,
wig.
Why do you call it a piggy room? And I stick my head in there.
So, just to mention, someone has now said piggy 3 times, and 3 little piggies are summoned. I'd like everyone to roll.
Man? This is a Bloody Mary room.
Piggy, piggy, piggy. What was that? Oh, Tower did.
Oh.
He said piggy once, and then later he said piggy, piggy.
Oh no, I said piggy wiggy.
Well, you said piggy wiggy. As in, what's his face's
The meter, like Laszlo, has difficulty.
Piggy wiggy. Piggy wiggy.
The meter, like
Well-
Laszlo, does not understand accents, and it was close enough.
It was close enough.
Wow, that's how
Bill and Ted is Bill and,
fragrant spellcasting is these days.
it's Bill and Ted's adventure. Piggy wiggy. Okay.
It's fine.
Well,
It's fine.
me and Laszlo
It's
are
fine.
completely like unaware at the moment.
Oh yeah.
We were setting up camp and
Okay, well,
happy.
roast pork for dinner. Fine.
Fair point.
All right. So, anyone missing from the turn order?
Oh, I haven't done
No
one
one
yet.
needs to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hold on. If you've got the mouse, I can't click. You've got the
Oh,
mouse.
come.
Thank you. You were sharing. We're
Okay,
sharing. I
okay.
know, but we're sharing. I can't do it. There we go. There we go.
Okay. So, with everyone having rolled, at the top of the round, is Carmen informed of the presence of the 3 little pigs?
I shouted that this room might be more suitable, so she may come to investigate. Anyhow,
Hey, Carmenly's torn between. So, Laszlo's not.
Holy hells, there's 3 pigs in here. They look
Okay,
scary.
Now she's informed. There we go. There we go. Thank you very much. So she would run down to here. I don't know what that distance is. Hold on. Is that distance?
yeah, you can.
I can't get that far.
You can dash.
I can get to there.
You can dash to.
I can't dash. So I'm
You could
gonna
all open all 5 doors.
I'll get to there. Could I cast Shatter?
You can't see me.
But I
You
can't.
can't
I need to
see
see them?
inside the room. You need to be able to see the spot that you target for shatter.
Oh, right. Okay. So in that case, Carmen would. Oh, there's something she can really do.
Well, Tower's wearing mithril armor, right? Maybe it's
Yes.
just so shiny and reflective. No, he's not. Okay.
Oh, could I use the rings to then go to Tower's position to then cast
Mhm.
Shatter?
Yep.
Right, I'll do that way then. Okay.
Okay, so you use a charge from the ring.
Yeah.
And then you cast shatter.
Yes.
Okay, they need to roll Constitution saving throws.
Technically, you're going to obliterate that mirror as well.
No, but I'm going
So,
for the rings only.
Okay. No.
I can't, can I? I was going to take the whole lot. Sorry.
So they can. Yeah.
So, what's the? I doubt 12 is a correct save for you. What is your spell save DC?
My spell save DC is 16.
16. Okay, so one of them succeeds, the other 2 fail.
Okay.
The one that succeeds takes half damage
Okay.
at 9 points of thunder. The rest take the full. Anything else, Carmen?
She will just step. Well, she's out of the way anyway, so that's done.
Okay. You all notice that there is no damage to the mirror or the candles in front of it.
Okay. Cool.
Magic. I've still got to take magic one in. Do I see anything with that, by the way?
You do, in fact, see an illusion magic aura. Actually, no, it's invisible, so you don't see it. So never mind. I think detect magic is only that which is visible. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
Right. Averine.
So what do I see I know you said piggy, piggy, piggy,
So-
but those don't look like pigs from here.
No, these in fact look like some form of boar-human hybrid.
Well, I will just.
There are 3 of them. Now, looking at the mirror, you will notice that you can see in the reflection of the mirror there is a lever on the southern wall. But in reality, when you look at the southern wall, you can't see no lever. Only in the reflection. What are you going to do, Averine?
I'll just stick my wand in there and firebolt one of the ones that took the full force of the shatter.
Okay.
15.
So one of the lower 2, 15 to hit. That will hit for 11 points of fire damage.
And then I'll just take a step back like that.
All right. Tower or Zola. You guys can choose who goes first.
It's whichever.
I'll go first because I'll be able to give you some advantage. Our
Okay.
tower will start to charge in and then wild shape mid stride.
Really?
That's what Darren does. That's all I've got left.
Okay. Oh, we have a bear. We have a bear.
And I'll attack whatever looks weakest right now.
The southernmost one does. 18 will hit. For 10 piercing, okay. Anything else, Tower?
Second attack. That's hey.
That's certainly going to carve cleanly through the webor
Nice.
Yeah.
with a great 24 points of slashing damage. He is heavily wounded.
Okay.
Nice.
Right. That is tower.
Zola, the room inside of here is 15 foot high, so you can slither above Tower if you wanted.
That was going to be the plan. All I really wanted to do this turn was to get into a good position.
Okay.
I don't think that I could attack without opening myself up completely, and I don't want to do that. So if it's cool with you, I would like to slither into the top corner position up here, and
Okay.
then use my cutting action to, hide.
Hide. Okay. Roll a stealth check. You're invisible. You're hiding in the corner. 25. Solid. Okay. Pijo.
Is my hunter's mark still active? Would it have been an hour
No,
since?
It's been a while.
Okay. So then I'm going to flap on over here. I'm going to cast hunter's mark on this one under Zola. And I'm going to dagger and shield it to attack at that one.
Okay. 24 is going to hit for 8 points of damage at the hunter's mark, and it was already wounded.
And then
Okay.
I'll do it again. Presuming the 19 hits.
Yep. Hits again. These guys aren't difficult to hit. Anything else from you, Pijo?
That's all. Just setting my ground behind the shield, keeping these things where they are for now.
Right. One of these webors is going to attack Pijo. With its tusks, is that a 14 to hit?
That is not enough.
Okay. Then instead, swinging a maul, that is a 12 to hit. So that'll miss.
Nope.
Next one, the middle one will also do the same thing. Try to bite Pijo. That is an 18 to hit.
Not with the shield.
Not with the shield.
I
I thought your armor
AC's
class is 18.
But I have the shield. That's 18. I'm not usually wielding the shield, but I have it out now. So it
Shield's
brings
a
up to
+2.
20.
Okay. So you're
Yeah.
up to 20. Okay. And then swinging the maul, 17. That'll miss. The last one will try to bite at Tower. That's a natural 20.
Oh,
It's as good as he gets.
That is 10 points of slashing damage.
Yeah.
And I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
oh,
You're getting consistent now, man.
oh
Nope.
no.
tower
Yeah.
becomes cursed with web or lycanthropy.
Ooh, more animal shape changes.
And that
Aaron
is a
smiled quite a lot at that
24
one.
to hit.
I'm really confused about how that affects a wild shape. Does it? If like, 'cause
So
when it takes back, it's not.
it's not like a blood infection or anything that would change. It is a magical curse that is upon you now because of the bite. So it would stick with your natural form.
Okay.
Yep. So 24 to hit with the maul. That's 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mhm.
Okay. Captain.
Well, everyone
Why-
hearing this kerfuffle and everyone running, and Captain just being like, "We had a plan. Like these people are not following orders, Papazotto. This is not how things ought to go.
I'd just
Lovely.
kill them if I were you.
We need them. We cannot kill them now. They will probably die soon anyway. They deserve it." 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I get that for. I said that all to myself in the other room. And none of you heard it.
Laszlo, what are you going to do?
So I moved 30 feet. And I guess I just have to take the dash action to go the other. I can get into there, I guess, or can I? I can get to there, right?
Yep.
And you know what? As a bonus action, I'm going to take my second wind and just get some healing
Okay.
because that's all I've got left. And
You've
I
got
don't-
action surge. We took a short rest.
I had to take the action surge to do my channel divinity in the last fight. So to be totally fair about that, that's something that I did. So it's 1d10 plus 3.
Okay.
So I gain 8 hit points and my turn is over.
Carmen,
Hello.
what would you like to do?
Can Carmen actually get close to them?
You can ring
There's a
it.
lot of people. Oh, I could ring it. Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
So in that case, she would ring it and
Okay.
have a slashing.
At which one? 1, 2, 3.
Number 2 in the middle, because if she
Number
can make
2.
a nice little blood pool in the middle, that'll be quite fun.
Okay.
Is what she's thinking. So she'll do that.
That will hit.
Cool. How's he looking?
Hurt, but still doing all right. He's pretty
Okay.
beefy. Or porky. Okay.
All right, Piggy Wiggy. She'll do it again then.
Okay.
Yes.
Another solid hit. 15 points of force damage. He is now heavily weakened. Anything else from you, Carmen?
No, that'll be it from me. Thank you.
Okay. Averine.
So if I go up to the door, am I able to target any of them?
Yes, I'd say there is a big mess of people in the way, but yes, you would be able to. We've not really been playing with friendly fire, so.
All right, well then I will firebolt the same one I firebolted last time. 14 for 11 fire damage.
Hits and cinches his flesh.
All right, keep it up, guys. You're doing great. And I'll take a step back.
Tower.
Your
Your lower jaw begins to itch a little bit. Your teeth just grow just a little bit there.
No.
Just elongate just a little bit.
No.
Cave bear with tusks.
Yeah. That's an extra weapon.
Does it do any extra damage?
Not right now.
I'll bite back.
Okay.
Nice.
That is a solid bite. And the werebore would drop to 0 hit points, but instead drops to 1. As it is relentless. Yep. if a wereboar takes a certain amount of damage or less, that would reduce it to 0 hit points. It is reduced to 1 point instead.
That's useful. That's a useful trait.
That is a very useful trait.
There's no like once per encounter in that. That's just
Recharges after a short or long rest.
oh, okay. That's good.
Then finishes
So
it.
that hits. That will kill it. There we go. That little piggy goes home.
It's gone to the market.
Boo.
Anything else from you, Tower?
That's
Zola, on top of the wereboar.
I would like to slither down the wall 10 feet so that I can enter melee with the one that's directly beneath me, but stay out of melee with the one beyond it.
Okay. Yep.
The intent. And I will turn invisible as I cut you.
That'll hit.
Aha.
23. Nice. Carve. Okay. An extra 4.
I slither back up.
Okay. Pijo.
All right, I'm gonna keep focusing fire on this guy in front of me. Gonna flap around and slash with it and keep my shield up and do all I can to make it have a bad day.
I'm not going to lie. I'd really like to see what Pijo looks like as a wereboar.
That'd be crazy.
That would be pretty good.
So
Would
there's
he
that.
keep the wings?
Pigs can fly.
That will
Pigs
hit.
can
I think so.
fly.
Right?
That will hit for a solid 13 points of damage. He is heavily injured.
Well, I'm
Anything else
gonna
from you?
heavily injure him. Well, maybe not heavily injure him again, but I'm gonna injure him again. And
That kills the second little piggy.
does it kill, or does it just reduce him to
Okay,
1?
Kill.
That was 12 damage.
Actually, 12 damage. Yes, 12 is... No, 12 is... Yeah, 12 is enough, because the
Okay.
first one was 7. This one is 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Great.
All right, then if there's nothing else from you, we still have one little piggy left to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay put. I'll bonus action move my hunter's mark just before the turn's up, so that
Okay.
it's there.
He is going to try and bite at you, Pijo. That is a 16 to hit. And then
No good.
swing them all with a 20 to
Ooh,
hit.
that hits though. AC 20.
Oh,
Ooh, 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's okay.
Okay. All right, Captain.
I guess I'll just smash it in the head. That's all I got going.
Those are 2 solid knocks. And with the total that you deal, how does Laszlo kill this last wereboar?
Nothing fancy, just like hack repeatedly. He falls down, you just keep hacking, and then eventually he stops moving, and then you stab him a couple more times, and then kick him once or twice, and then he's done.
Okay.
Nothing too much.
All of the wereboars disappear from view after they've been destroyed. You are all now stood left alone inside the room with the mirror, the 5 blank empty candles, and in the reflection of the mirror is the lever, but you will look, you can't see the lever in reality, but it is visible in the mirror.
What does that say on the wall? It says, Piggy.
Don't say it!
What?
Tower's going to change back. Has he got tasks?
Yes, you do.
Carmen will notice that and kind of be like, "Oh, are you okay?
That thing bit me.
Yeah, okay, that doesn't look good."
So, would he know this is a wear infection? And having a father that was fully versed in this, would she know that it's a wear infection?
I would say you could roll survival checks, both of you, to see if you can identify this. The way you feel.
Carmen would have heard about this. Like, okay. Carmen would have definitely heard about this with Daddy. So survival. Oh.
Yep.
No, no.
Okay.
Advantage because of Daddy.
I would give you the advantage because you have first-hand experience with a lycanthropic family member.
Very true.
And,
My father, yes.
and friends, the
Yeah,
entire
true.
order would. And now both of you would recognize that this is a lycanthropic curse.
Okay.
So Tower is now a lycanthrope.
Okay.
He has a choice right now. If he doesn't get removed by any other means, he has a choice to either accept the curse or reject it.
If only we had stuck with the plan where I go in first, so things bite me and it hits my armor, and we are not affected by these kind of things.
Yeah, but you see how I used my shield? It was really good.
Yeah. Is it like something I have to accept now? Can I reject it?
No, it's just in general. Until you say you accept it, I'm going to consider you as always rejecting the changes that will come about. As such, the changes will come about slowly.
Okay.
Right.
Can I just reference Authority in chat who is saying cure it with applesauce? I don't think that is an option, but I think that is hilarious.
But only because we do
It's
not
worth a
have
shot.
apples with us.
If we had
could try.
applesauce, we could just log it on him and just like, but I don't think that's an option.
I do think historically, though, applesauce is the ultimate cure for lycanthropy.
Greater Restoration would do this, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I could pray to my God for some
How I know that.
restoration, but I do not. But I do not have that. I'm not a very good paladin, so I don't know if it's strong enough to help you.
I could possibly. My master knew a spell that could cure this, but it is the same one that would cure Greco of his stone change. But I do not.
Okay.
I need to work on it a little.
So,
Yes,
Averine, you were going to say something?
Does Averine know about lycanthropy and how it could affect someone's personality?
History, survival, checks, either one would work for that.
22.
Yes, indeed. Generally speaking, lycanthropes are considered evil entities, and while changed, they would exuberate, exhort. I don't know. They would show off some evil tendencies. Now, you've known of some lycanthropes being perfectly fine until they change, and some lycanthropes becoming evil very quickly.
And do I know whether or not the remove curse spell would be sufficient to?
Yes, yes, you would. Remove curse would do it.
I just have to point out that Odd Authority has put on there, this would be the birth of Man-Bear Pig.
Yeah.
Oh, if only he
yes,
could
it
use a
would.
Furbolg.
That is ledge.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
There we go.
Tower.
Legend is bored.
If one of these fellas has bitten you, there's a chance that you'll be turning into one of them, and you might have the desire to do things you wouldn't normally have the desire to do. I do have the... Nope, I did not prepare that spell, so never mind. In the morning, I might be able to remove the curse from you after we take a rest. If I don't know the particulars of this version of lycanthropy, and there's a chance that you won't be compelled to do things terrible and evil.
I have not come across this either, but these creatures we just attacked, they did not seem very friendly, so I must assume that it may change me for the worse. I would prefer not to be this way.
Carmen will just kind of approach Tao and just kind of like be, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's I know, but it's not that bad, honestly.
Yeah, Tao's gonna do his he's gonna slightly cast disguise self, so he's the same. He looks normal.
Mhm.
It's gonna be like,
So this,
Fame.
since we've made this room safe, should we set up camp here, or should we handle the other rooms?
I would say we'd set up camp before we start to open up other rooms, but I'm happy for.
I am spent now. I have no capacity to change. I have no capacity for spells. I would like a rest.
Tired towel.
Hearing that, I'm gonna go see if we left that top room's door open and close it if we did. Make sure everything is all.
I did not close it when I left, so that is a good idea.
Okay, so you're going to close that door.
I'll talk to the straw person sitting on my shoulder.
Hi,
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
I'm Straw Bundle.
Straw Bundle.
Oh.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Aberreen.
Hi.
We're planning on taking a rest in this room to recharge our batteries and make sure that if the Soon sisters return, that we're able to face them at full force. Do you see any flaws in this plan?
What if the Sun Sisters come before you rest? Before you feel rested?
Well, then we'll have to confront them at that time, won't we?
Yeah, magical bubble
We have bubble.
to stop them from.
Do the Soon sisters often go into all these side rooms to check that they are okay?
From time to time, they set the traps.
Well, perhaps if we leave everything looking normal, like we did not come in, they will not raise their suspicions, and they will not come look in the room, even if they do come before we are all arrested.
It's
Do they
possible.
look for you? Do they need to see you three together?
Sometimes they like to play with us, but we usually try to hide from them anyway. There's nowhere to hide, but we try to hide.
Okay, so would it be really wrong of me that we're here because we're trying to stop this happening to you? So if we were to say, could we ask you to carry on as normal outside of this room for one night so we could get some rest, and then we're going to try and stop all of this? Would one more night, is that okay? If you just try to do your best to, I don't know, point them in the direction of other people, of other doors, other doorways, or just like, when they ask you if everything's okay, look to the left and not up to the right.
What if we just go back upstairs and take a rest up there in the
I like
control
that.
room?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Would you guys like to go see the upstairs? Straw Bundle.
And mine is Clayface Child.
Yeah. The name's Clay No Face.
Clay
Play
No
no
Face.
face.
Yeah.
I am sorry. I am
Nice to
sorry.
meet you. Sorry.
Clay No Face. I am Vladislav, but you can call me Laszlo.
Okay.
So, are we agreed we're going to head back upstairs and go to the control room?
How are we going to get to the control room if all the rooms are all twisted wrong?
We can send Alawando back.
Okay.
Then we have to deal with Aboleth in our head.
That's true.
I believe we already made a deal with the Aboleth, and he gave us what information we needed, and he does not get out unless we are successful, so I do not think he would interrupt us.
Very true.
Do you think the Aboleth can penetrate your bubble?
Sorry.
This is a serious question. Magic cannot.
No, you can't. Of
Penetrate,
course you can't.
but can telepathy.
That's why I laugh. That's why I laugh. Nothing can penetrate the bubble. It's fine. We are protected. I can camouflage it. If you want me to make it look like a wall.
Then we should go. And Tao will pick up the monkey and be like.
Do you want to take the monkey boy with you?
It seems like the monkey would have a hard time with his wheel trying to get up the steps. Come, monkey.
The dungeon isn't very wheelchair accessible.
No. Should we be taking one of these three up with us? If the Stone Sisters, the Stone Sisters come back.
These hide anyway. They may not even notice the presence. Business.
These are you were children once who were like killed, and now you are in this new shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot fight the Stone Sisters yourselves, right?
No, no.
And did the Stone Sisters kill you?
Like I've said to you twice now, yes, they starved us and we died.
Yes, this is my point, Carmen. How can we leave them here for the further trials and tribulations of the Stone Sisters?
I'm not saying leave them here on purpose. I'm not trying to hurt these guys, because that's why I was chatting to you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to say that if they are going to notice you're missing, that could cause a bit of a problem for us to save you in the future.
Can we have discussions? And they might come back, and we are already.
We can't take all three of them. We can take one of them.
Can we go?
No, we take all three of them. We must fight for those who cannot fight for themselves.
Quick question then. So, have all three of you managed to spend a whole night hiding before?
Yeah, we have.
Sure.
Yeah.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check. I mean, they've hidden before, but that could be as much a case of the Soon sisters just didn't want to play with them that night as it was they successfully hid.
Okay.
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 They may not even wish to play with them, or they may not even notice their presence. Can we go?
Okay, fine. I'm just making sure that we do what's best for you guys and for us, obviously. But yeah, okay.
The best for everybody is that we are not killed here because we are weak.
Okay, let's get out. Let's go back upstairs and get out of the way.
Okay. So you'll climb back up the stairs. You'll head along the corridor. Carefully make your way into the twisting gears. Twist it back to get to the control room, right?
Yep.
And that's where you're going to use the tiny hut to then rest for the night.
Can we set the gears so that it's not set so the Aboleth can get into our heads in there?
No.
Sure. You can turn off the communication. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was asking, because the bubble should block him out anyway.
Yeah.
If it's something about the room, though, I don't know. I don't know if it would. We might as well just...
Specifically, the bubble stops spells and other magical effects from through the dome or be cast through it. Okay.
So yeah, I would cast Tiny Hut.
Yeah, I'm just curious if telepathy would
It won't go for Tiny Hut.
would count as that an effect on it.
If it's magical effect.
Psionics is weird in some way.
All right. So you guys camp out and you begin to take your rest. So are you going to take watches during the rest?
Yes.
Does Clay No Face tell me that I will not feel particularly sleepy tonight?
You still need to sleep in order to gain the benefits of a long rest.
Sure, I need to sit
But you don't
quietly
need
and
to
not do
sleep.
anything difficult, but I could stay awake and watch the door.
Yeah, you can do. You can do.
I will stay
perception
awake
check then.
and watch the door. You all can sleep.
Laszlo, you can't do that. You gotta sleep.
But this little fellow told me that I can just sit quietly and not sleep and feel fine.
But
they have not lied to us before. Is not that right, Clay No Face?
It's common sense. You can't just stay up all night and pretend that you're gonna function at all cylinders the next day.
What is a cylinder?
Why can't he?
You do it all the time, right? No Face.
All the time.
I think one of us should take a shift with Laszlo. If he's determined to stay awake, then we should take turns, maybe, to spend a bit of time with him and his friends if they're staying awake as well.
Okay. I'll take one of the. I'll take a watch. I'll take first watch.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take a watch as well. That's fine.
I'll take one as well.
There we go.
Child's gonna sleep.
Oh.
Chow's gonna sleep.
It's against the plan.
Is Pichao gonna sleep?
Well, Pijo is exhausted. He's
Yes.
one level of exhausted at least.
Oh, so it's Carmen.
First
Yeah.
Carmen.
So he's probably just going, if there's an option to not take a shift because there's going to be him up, he's probably going to take that just to rest for the night.
Those who are most exhausted among us can probably get a full night's rest.
In which case, if Carmen needs to take a rest to get rid of that level of exhaustion, then she will take a pew next to Pichao and get some sleep.
I mean, mechanically
All
speaking,
right.
I don't think it makes a difference, but just
Okay.
Nothing
you're worried
seems
about
to
that.
be, nothing seems to be happening from Avarine's perspective or perception. But during this first hour, Pijo has some nightmares. The dungeon's been getting to you, the mind of the Aboleth in you. You have a terrible dream of the Aboleth taking control of you and slaughtering your entire companionship.
oh no.
Bit by bit, you watch as you slit the throats with an arrow, nice and up close. You just slide the tiny little blade across everyone's throats.
That's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant at all.
No. Whose watch is this during?
This is during Avarine's watch.
Oh, Pijo's going to like bolt up like, oh god. Look around, check everyone's neck very conspicuously, trying not to wake them up.
What are you
And then-
doing, Piju? They're trying to sleep.
I think I killed everyone.
No, we're all still alive.
I killed them all. I killed the Beholder. I killed the Minotaur. I killed...
Are you sure? Because I had...
Yes, I kill everyone.
No, it's too
We're
late
fine.
for that right
We're
now.
fine, Piju. Go to sleep.
Okay, well, if I start killing everybody, just tell me to stop, okay?
You can bet your life I'll do that.
Okay, I will.
You go back to sleep, and you continue to dream horrific dreams. Now this time it's images of you slaughtering children and stuffing their souls into tiny little dolls. It's quite nasty.
It sounds nasty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The time moves on. Avarine ends her watch, goes to sleep, I'm assuming.
Aye.
That leaves still Laszlo awake, but is
I
anyone
do not
joining
feel
Laszlo?
particularly tired. I mean, I do not feel sleepy. I'm tired, but as I sit quietly, I feel less and less tired. But not sleepy. It is the most peculiar thing.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone join Laszlo for a long rest? Yep.
I'll take a watch.
Okay, so perception checks from both of you. During this time, neither of you can see any danger, see any issue. But at this point, Carmen, your dreams become twisted. You begin dreaming of home, of the castle in the sky. And then the castle begins to dip and fall and fall. Next thing you know, your parents are scrambling to try and save Duan Jr. But they don't care about finding you. You're standing in front of them screaming for help, and they just walk past you over and over, desperate to find Duan Jr.
That's because they know I'm capable. That's why. That's hard.
Dreams get worse,
Okay.
but they do persist. I would say Zola would notice that Carmen's not having a good rest.
I'll gently wake her up just because I'd appreciate it if I was having a nightmare or something and someone kind of nudged me. Hey, you're dreaming.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Sorry.
good. I just want to, if you were having a nightmare, I just want to wake you up. Okay, go back to sleep now.
I'm okay. Thank you.
No more bad
I'm
dreams.
okay. I'm okay. I'm good. Thank you. Sorry.
The dreams persist and continue. They flitter back and forth between images of your family dying and you being stranded just out of reach of not being able to help anyone as they're all being slaughtered. Zola and Laszlo's watch ends. Third watch.
If Carmen is not going to suffer with exhaustion the next day, still, then she would take a watch because...
Under normal circumstances, watching would not risk your exhaustion.
Under normal. Are we under normal or not?
I can't say otherwise.
Can't say that.
Considering you and I are the
wanted-
only ones with exhaustion, and we're the only ones having creepy dreams that are making our
Laszlo,
In which
Laszlo-
case, she'll try and hug whoever is next to her.
Okay.
And I don't know who's next to her right now, but she would just try and just hug somebody.
Tower or Laszlo. Or Laszlo is.
But Laszlo's, I mean, I'm
Laszlo's-
letting you guys decide.
Laszlo's up, Tower's sleeping, so who would you hug?
Probably Tower. Probably Tower.
In which case, she'll roll over and hug Tower.
Okay.
So is she waking up or is she staying asleep? Laszlo will not wake her for the watch.
She's staying asleep, but the dreams and the visions will persist.
Can I roll a new perception check to see if they are persisting?
Yeah, go ahead.
I am too busy having a good conversation with my new friend, Clay Nothing.
Tower will be stirred by this and will cuddle her up and envelop her a little bit.
Okay. Third watch. Who's taking the third watch? Anyone with Laszlo?
Are you going to take a watch though?
No,
Zola, I feel fine. I am feeling better and better. I think you can sleep. I will watch the door. It will be okay. Everyone seems very tired. I am the only one who does not seem to be tired. I got this watch alone. It is all right.
Okay, I have faith in you.
I can watch.
During this watch, Laszlo, roll another perception check.
Because I have been
And-
doing wonderful at those.
Yep.
So
Karma should be awake.
Ah!
In this time, Averine's dreams are disturbed.
Oh no.
Averine finds herself trapped. Well, I'm trying to think what would be a nightmare for Averine. Being in a library while all of the things are being set on fire in front of her.
Having
Her
to
mind
talk
doesn't
to
work. Maybe
Grigori
like she
for more
can
than
think things
20
but not
minutes.
communicate them, and can't. It's always on the tip of your tongue. Every idea, every thought.
Stuck. Well, actually, having visited a few groups of people within the realm of Chult, and becoming friend to the Arakocra of Kirsabal, your dream contains you clearly leading a troop of gargoyles towards Kirsabal to wipe every single one of the Arakocra out. And as every single Arakocra dies, they stare at you, and the gargoyle thanks you for giving them access.
Why would I do such a terrible thing? I'm a terrible person, that's why.
The rest of the watch will go by quietly. There is one more watch to go by, the fourth one.
I will not wake anyone up. I am feeling okay. And everyone seems to be very tired.
Carmen's
And-
had enough time. Carmen's had enough time to recover in this sense now, so she would wake up a bit early. So maybe not
Okay.
throughout the whole watch, but she would wake up a little bit earlier.
Okay. So this time, nothing actually happens. The time when you have a decent perception.
I have been observant all night and nothing has gone wrong.
Mhm.
Okay.
Unfortunately, during that long rest, Carmen, Pijo, and Averine do not gain the benefits of a long rest. Your hit point maximum is reduced by 7, as is your current hit points.
Do they not get any of their spells back either?
Nothing. No benefits of a long rest.
Man.
So
When I wake
You're
when
tired.
I
Yep.
wake up, can I note that there's something wrong?
yeah, absolutely. You feel this is wrong. You should not feel this tired after taking a long rest. You usually, when you sleep for 8 hours, you gain the full benefits. Everyone else, hit points back up to maximum, spell slots all refreshed. So that's Tower, Laszlo, and Zola. You guys are all back up to normal and fine.
Okay.
But unfortunately, Carmen, Pijo, and Averine, not so.
Can I try to figure out why that is?
Roll an intelligence-based check.
I will use. It must be magic afoot, so I will use Arcana.
Okay.
14.
With a 14,
I reroll.
This
I'm gonna
is-
use a luck. I'm
Okay.
gonna use luck to figure out.
you're
why
going to
that is.
re-roll.
Can
Okay.
I-
All right. Yeah.
So 10 plus 13, so 23.
23. Okay. With your Arcana check, this a couple things do click together. I just realized we've still got the turn order up and we don't need it. A couple things do click in your mind. The fact that you're not gaining the benefits of a long rest. The fact that whatever effect caused this was able to get through the tiny hut, which should not really happen. The fact that you have entered and left a witch's lair. The Soon sisters are hags, that is known and understood. You remember hearing about a night hag's nightmare haunting. While on the ethereal plane, the hag magically touches a sleeping humanoid on the material plane. A protection from evil and good spell cast on the target prevents this contact, as does a magic circle. As long as the contact persists, the target has dreadful visions. If these visions last for at least 1 hour, the target gains no benefit from its rest. And so on. You can feel confident that the Soon sisters on the ethereal plane were able to interact with the three of you while you were sleeping and stop you from being able to gain the benefits of a long rest. They must be aware of your presence. They must have been following you.
The dolls are the Soon sisters.
Would we have not rolled for that?
For what?
I don't know. Just them interfering with us. That's all I'm thinking.
Well, you said if it lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
So, or like, is there a way to resist that happening for a full hour?
Without being capable of viewing the ethereal plane, this is not something that can be noticed. Now that you've noticed it, you can take precautions against it, but it is what it is. What are you guys going to do about it?
Sit in this spot for another 16
8
hours,
hours.
then sleep again.
Sorry, so I missed that. So something's affected us, and it usually couldn't affect us through the dome. So whatever is affecting us is in the dome with us.
No,
Yes,
not
please
quite.
don't.
He used the fact that it mustn't have been something that was on the material plane, because nothing on the material plane can affect you from outside the dome.
Well, I
However,
don't think
he
anything could
remembers
affect us outside the plane, in the tomb.
specifically these hags are on the ethereal plane. The ethereal plane is a border realm that you can pass to. You just
Okay.
can't leave the tomb via the ethereal plane. So these hags are capable of interfering with creatures on the material plane from the ethereal and thus bypass to the tiny hut. What are you guys going to do about it?
Well, I feel
Muted.
ready to go. Rested and rejuvenated. Are we ready to go forward?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, we have
Oh.
to go forward, but before we do go forward, I have some questions regarding what abilities, specifically, I have things that happen after a long rest. Unused portents go away, but I would regain portents after a long rest. So does that mean I have no portents? Because Or do I still have the unused portents?
So you spend one. Sorry. I need the wording on the portent. Can you throw the portent text up at all?
Sure. Boop, boop, boop,
Do you
boop,
have
boop,
that
boop.
available?
I do. Boop. Oh, no, that's me re-rolling portent.
That's not the text. Okay.
That's not the text. I have it right here. Copying, pasting.
Okay. So, when you finish a long rest, roll 2d20s and record the numbers rolled. You can replace any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check made by you or a creature that you can see with one of these foretelling rolls. You must choose to do so before the roll, and you can replace a roll in this way. Each foretelling roll can be used only once. When you finish a long rest, you lose any unused foretelling rolls. So you did not finish a long rest, so you did not lose any unused portents.
Okay.
Okay.
And we still have 2 baby portents.
You still
Nice.
have
Don't forget
2
those.
baby portents.
We used one.
One.
So
You used one last week, didn't you?
We've
Yeah.
still got one.
Right. So,
And I haven't regained my luck points because
So,
I didn't finish
just
a
to
long rest.
clarify, the rings and items that say would replenish the next morning or whatever, have they been replenished?
anything that specifies by a time frame like dawn is still refreshes. Absolutely.
Okay.
So the rings
It's-
and her staff for striking
Yes.
are
Yep.
refreshed.
All of that stuff refreshes. The only things that don't are those that refresh on a long rest.
Yeah, just clarifying.
Okay.
So would that be spells and hit points?
Spells and hit points, and your hit point maximum reduces by 7.
Yeah.
And as we remember with the whole
Yeah.
soulmonger thing, that is a permanent change.
Yeah, that's fine. It's more the other bits.
Yeah.
It's cool. Okay. Yeah.
As such, while our heroes are contemplating the danger with the Soon sisters able to mess with their sleep, this is going to make resting and preparing for the Atropal that much harder. We will continue this next week as we continue to charge through the Tomb of Annihilation. We're almost there. The party are so close. Join us next week. Thanks, folks. Good night.